and honor to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to the brothers that teach this truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. 1/3, the sincere listeners. All right, this is GMS Toronto back again, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom. Okay, we're in Babylon the Great, America. Okay, now in the Bible it's not named America. Okay, but through prophecy, through our teachers, okay, giving us the breakdowns, we're able to identify the time that we're in right now, man, and which kingdom is in rulership. Okay, and then spearheading America right now, you have the dynamic duo Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Okay, Donald Trump, he could be very well the last president, man, to usher in the NWO, the intelligent age. That's what they want to call it, right? Yeah. Alongside Elon Musk with all his technology and his miracles, right? And you people don't even have a clue, man, because this is all leading back to Revelation 13, going into the MOTB, man. Yeah. Okay, a digital snare unto you people, a digital trap, right?
We can open up that.
Yeah, let's do it. Revelation 13 and 15.
I'll pull it up for you.
All right.
Okay, so Revelation.
This is what it's all coming down to, man. A lot of you jakes, man. You jakes right now, you're in the mindset of being the toad in the boiling water, man. All right, you just letting it cook, cook you in, and you don't even know it, man. Until you're gonna be boiled out and burnt out, right, by the missiles, right?
I think it's freezing.
I got it.
Right.
Yeah, this is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right. And that image, we know that image that we were Lord in. So he caused everybody to worship the image. And this is saying cause and effect. So how is this devil going to cause the world to worship this image, which really is a technological Babylon? They're doing the exact same. These spirits, these people that you see, these technocrats that are pushing AI, GI, all these different technological advances are the same spirits that were trying to build the tower, or that were building the Tower of Babel, right? And being adverse to the Most High. Okay, so they're here back again doing the same thing, and he's going to cause that through his blessings, right? Which is what? This devil's blessing is a sword and his mouth, right? News is propaganda. If you really want to know what's going on, you got to read both sides and draw a conclusion in the middle, right? And news right now is not even informative. Water. It's really the truth that's only informative. So he's going to use the narrative, right? Boogeyman, false flags, black swan events, everything under the sun. Because they pivot ideas. If something doesn't work, they use another plan. Like you don't hear about seaweed anymore. You don't hear about variants anymore. You don't even hear about the bird piss anymore. Because this guy's pivoting. Right? So he's using that's his tongue, and then you got the sword. This guy's gonna cause through the sword, military, death, engineering, bio warfare, everything under the sun. And they even got this thing right now where people are bringing up testimonies because they're getting so-called cured by Elon Musk. I think Neuralink. Yeah, because they're I can't say the word, but their seeds, what they call them?
NFC?
Huh?
NFC?
No. It's like a disease. It's a tumor. You know what tumors are?
Yeah,
I can't say the word because
the C word.
Yeah,
Oh.
the C word because medical information.
Oh.
A tumor. These people are getting the tumors reducted,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying, "Wow." So that's a cause and effect. the effect is them being like, you know what? I have a kid who can't walk. Let me try this. This is my last hope.
Yep.
So he's gonna cause the whole world to do that. So then when you know that, you gotta think, how diabolical are these events gonna be? Where the whole world's gonna be begging for this MARK.
And pretty much to add on to what you're saying, right? The way the devil is positioning himself, he's positioning himself as the angel of light, right? So he's doing everything Yahweh Shai was doing when he was on the scene, but just on the left hand side, right? So people are gonna see, oh, because these people are so carnal, they don't see what they see. You know what I mean? They're not spiritual. So to them, you hear about Yahweh Shai, oh, that was 2,000 years ago. Who really knows he even existed? You know? But if they see Elon Musk now coming through, you know, with their eyes, they can really see, oh, he has a Tesla robot, right? So they'll believe in this thing, man, and really think that, you know, these guys are having the truth for real, right? What was it on that? Just we get this. Psalms 58 and 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O sons of men? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Right? Don't they plan on pretty much getting the population down to 500 million on the Georgia Guidestones? Right? So how do you think they're going to be able to do that? All you people thinking that this RFID thing is going to be a good thing for you. All they got to do is just put the kill switch in, and then you're out of there. Right? Yeah. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. You know, another thing about these they speak so well of the economy. They, you know, like they talk well about this place, like everything is good, but it's really not. And when you hear these things, like, yo, you're the devil. Why are you acting like everything is good?
In that movie or the TV show, The Squid, they show you how he removed the RFID from the back. So he's just showing you in movies, TV shows, what he's going to do, right? He's preparing you.
That's right.
It
says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Poison is like the poison of adder that stoppeth their ear, which will not hearken to the voice. Charming, never so wisely. Break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord Yahweh, and break down their power structure, man. Break down their military, break down their media. All right, because these are all ways that this devil's waging war on the Israelites, man. You know?
Yeah, that's how they put the squeeze on you.
Yeah.
That's what you do with teeth.
Teeth.
Yeah, teeth to put squeeze to tear apart your brain.
That's right. He controls the narrative, right? So this devil, he's in charge of all the mainstream media. So technically, in a carnal sense, we're obviously the Israelites are going to win through Yahweh, but to the world, it looks like we're losing, man. Yeah. And this devil, he has the means to demonize us, right? Control all the airways, whatever, put whatever misinformation out there, right? So we're asking the Lord to break this devil's structure, man. You know?
And when you go into entertainment, media, it goes into being like pulled apart, torn apart, being taken here. That's what Esau does. He takes you left and takes you right. The whole left-right paradigm. The Hegelian, exactly. The Hegelian dialectic. That's what politics is, and that's what news is. And that's why the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge and stability of that time. It's not being taken left or right, because the real narrative is the scriptures.
No longer tossed to and fro.
Exactly. Yep.
You mentioned that I'm saying to the world, the Israelites are weak. Right. But there's a reason for that, right? When we went to Romans 9:17, it says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So the reason why these people are looking down upon us right now, you know what I'm saying, is because the Most High is actually putting the modern day Pharaoh, which is these Babylonians, these Edomites in America, you know what I'm saying, that he's raising them up on high, you know, because he wants to take them down so the entire world can see, so that his name can be magnified again in the world, in the earth, right?
Yeah, because if he used the likes of Mike Tyson and these gods, you know, on the world, on the earth right now to bring out his word, it wouldn't really magnify his power to people, because these guys are already considered powerful people, right? So the Lord, he uses people who are not considered, you know, people who looked upon weak, people who are, you know, downtrodden, like David. When you go into that scenario with Goliath, that man had ultimate courage, you know, and the goal, like the Goliath didn't look like, he was terrifying. You know, I think his brother had 6 toes or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he went to him and said, in the name of the Lord, I'll take you out. I took a rock and slinged it through his head. While all the other Israelites there of that army were too afraid to fight him. And he was walking up and down in time. Even Saul was too afraid to fight him. And Saul was bigger than most guys.
Yeah, it's all the show of Israel.
Right? Is that?
If I may add, King David said, in the name of the Lord, I'll remove your head from your body.
That's right. Yeah. So he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, who the hell is this animal to talk shit about the Lord and his people? You know, and that's what you call indignation, righteous anger. Just like when Phineas stabbed that spirit through that Israelite that was sleeping with a woman committing sexual acts towards that god. Balaam. Was it Balaam? Yeah, the Moabite guy. You know. So, anyways, yeah, man. The Most High is always going to use the people who are not looked upon or looked at to basically serve His work to glorify His name.
Sure. Go ahead. Okay. 1 Corinthians 1, verse 26, and it says, "For ye see your calling, brethren, how not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But the Most High Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and the base things of the world, and the things which are despised hath the Most High chosen. Yea, the things which are not, to bring to naught which things that are." It's just going into the point about, you know, the Lord essentially chooses the low people who have a lot of fame and notoriety and the power in this world, so to speak. A lot of these different platforms. You know, a lot of our people have these different platforms. Like, for example, like Kanye has a platform and people found out about them maybe knowing that they were an Israelite, or even Kendrick Lamar, but they don't have a full understanding of who they really were as a whole. They don't have the full, essentially the breadth, right? They might have had a couple sinews here and there, right? And then that's just the way the Lord chooses. And the Lord doesn't choose, you know, things that, you know, because we look insignificant. Like, look at the clothes that we wear, and they pass us on the street, they mock, they scoff, they laugh, right? They don't consider these things, especially our people, right? And the scriptures say that how long you simple ones would you love simplicity, right? And wisdom crieth out, and she uttereth a voice in the chief place of concourse. They're not thinking, our people especially don't think and consider that, oh, you know, these people have some type of truth. Let me, you know, let me step back and listen to them. No, you know, these guys are just a bunch of bums.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Right.
They don't want to listen.
Right.
And on top of it, they're looking at, oh, where's your followers? Shouldn't you guys have like people, you know, a concert here, basically? Like, you're like, oh, there's nobody here. I'm the only one here. Like, what's going on?
all they know is entertainment.
Yeah.
Entertainment is not entertainment. It's not a crowd. That's all they know. It's entertainment.
That's pretty much the point.
I got something else on that. Okay, so 2 Thessalonians 2:1 in the NLT, it says, "Now, dear brothers and sisters, let us clarify some things about the coming of our Lord Yahushua and how he will be gathered to meet him. How we will be gathered to meet him. Don't be so easily shaken or alarmed by those who say that the day of the Lord has already begun. Don't believe them, even if they claim to have had a spiritual vision or revelation or a letter supposedly from us. Don't be fooled by what they say, for that day will not come until there is a great rebellion against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the one who brings destruction. He will exalt himself and defy everything that people call God and every object of worship. He will even sit in the temple of Yahweh, Hashem Shai, claiming that he himself is a god. And I brought that up because we were talking about Elon, that people were getting cured by the tumors and stuff like that, right? So they're kind of looking at him like, oh, these guys are gods, right? We can do anything. So that's kind of like gonna project them or like cattle them into taking the MOTV, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well,
He is, in a way.
yeah, yeah,
All these,
That's wrong,
all
that's
the
true.
technology that they have, the white man got,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because our people should be coming to us for healing,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what we do. We're
Yeah.
healers with the word. But Elon Musk and these different guys, they're giving these people sight. They're making them walk,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's a healing process. So they are gods.
Mhm.
But the way that they're looking at it is like they have the ultimate decisions to create life and to take life,
Mhm.
right?
There's
Somebody get Isaiah 14:14 to back the brother up. Keep going.
Okay, verse 5 it says, don't you remember that I told you about all this when I was with you? And you know what is holding him back, for he can be revealed only
And
when
we're
his
not waiting for one entity. Right? Somebody get that scripture on the Antichrist. We're
Because
not waiting for one entity. We're waiting for the Antichrist has been in this world for many years and centuries. Right?
He came before Adam.
It can't.
He was born before Adam.
Can't.
you know, we got Isaiah 14 and 14.
Yeah, bring it up.
Isaiah 14 and 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
And they did that, right? That's what they're doing. The Most High blessed them with something called technology, right? And these Edomites with that technology wonderfully, right?
Mhm.
Right, like in that show, yeah, like a new movie,
Cillian?
Elysium is a good one, but no, there's a new one that just dropped. It's the second one where these guys go and steal a whole bunch of shit. Then the thieves, they had a technology where they can cloak themselves. Esau had that technology from time, where they can hide behind something you don't even notice that they're there. Right? They have technology where they can put thoughts into your head.
Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead.
Verse 6 it says, and you know what is holding him back, for he can be revealed only when his time comes. For this lawlessness is
Yeah, because the power of revealing him was going to come through the prophets,
Yeah.
right? And it's going to come through self as well to the prophets. The only thing that you had was the Rastafarians say "Burn down," but we never knew what Babylon was, because a part of their organizations they had Edomites, they had Moabites, so we don't know who was Babylon. We just anything that had to do with white people, Babylon. Or anything that had to do with the Vatican Church, that was Babylon. We're just saying, yeah, one Babylon. We didn't know what that meant until we got the scriptures, and now we're lifting up the face of this devil, meaning what he does, his power, right? Because his power goes to his what the brothers were mentioning, his teeth. His teeth is the military. His teeth is the financial sector and the spiritual sector. Those are the only 3 city states in the whole world. You have one in Washington, you have one in London, and you have one in Rome, the water. Right? That's how they rule this world. You need to rule this world with finance, right? That's why we're talking about the MOTB. You need to rule this world with spirituality. That's the Vatican. But we know what they worship. The brothers bring it out all the time. And then the military. And the military don't play, man. They don't play. Serious people, man.
Verse 7, for this lawlessness is already at work secretly, and it will remain secret until the
What
Lord.
is the lawlessness? Anything that goes against the scriptures.
Exactly.
That's it,
Exactly.
right? It's not no something knowledge. It's whatever goes against the Bible. That's it. What's lawlessness? Just go against the Bible.
That's it.
That's it.
And it will remain secret until the one is holding it back steps out of the way. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him. By the
Hey, because what the scriptures say, it says, don't be marveled if transform into an angel of light.
Right.
See, so we're living in that time. You can't even talk about this man. When we first came on the highways and byways, obviously starting with the elder apostles, to even mention anything negative about white people, that would start the fight. And someone trying to fight us was black people, quote unquote. They would be the most angry. White people would be like, yo, this is true. They'll walk past, they'll see the devil on the ground and be like, yeah, that's not Jesus. White people come and be like, you can't have this here. Why is this here? And we'll tell him he'll step on it. Are you crazy? I will never step on that image. Right? Because that's the angel of light, right?
It says, Lord, the Lord Yahweh Shai will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming.
Which is what we do. Right? That's why brothers have such a hard time pushing videos, because what you're pushing is called truth. People don't like truth. The scripture says that it's like a sword, right? When you're wielding this truth, you're cutting people. You're cutting their beliefs, you're cutting what their grandma told them, their mother told them, what their pastor told them. They don't like truth. So that thing that we're bringing truth, man. And that's one of the most dangerous things you can bring to the society that you just read about. And that society that you're reading about is a society built upon lies. So if a society is built upon lies, then that means the opposition to the lies is truth.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Verse 9, it says, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. So you're saying. And then verse 10, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their
Going
way.
back to Revelation,
Yeah.
right? When they were released out of the bondage that they were in, meaning that they were in a lower servitude position when they were in Europe, right? Where the Israelites put them away for about 1,000 years. These people didn't even have a fucking language. These are the people that you put up saying that's the son of the Most High. How could that be the son of the Most High when he was in the caves?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. You put up an image of this devil being the son of the Most High. He's the saints. He's the holy people. But during that time, with all those images, he was in the caves, not even speaking a language. But he wrote the book, though. He wrote the book, but he couldn't speak English, or he couldn't even speak a written language.
Yeah.
That's how bugged out the demonic possession of this spell that's on our people. Our people are under a spell, man. To think that Esau is some great individual.
Yep. Okay, that's right.
So like, is any brother parked in the parking spots down there because somebody wants to Kamayam just called me?
Yeah.
And he said that there's a lady threatening to tow everybody's car. So he just wants to double check to make sure.
All the brothers here.
Yeah.
I parked on the other side. Other side, like where the other building is.
Oh, you're beautiful. You're good.
Yeah, so I'm good, right?
Brother, good. So like, anything.
No.
So he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction.
Which is what we're waiting for too. We're waiting for another deception, which is known as Project Bluebeam, right? If it does or not, we don't care. But we are looking out for everything that's a deception in the world, right? That's why brothers are on top of everything that comes out of the news. Plane crashes, we're like, I wondered. No matter what happens, we're like, what's going on with that?
That's right.
We're suspicious of everything.
That's right.
Why was it runway 33?
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I was gonna show you an image of the guy that's going to the Super Bowl, the top running back,
Yeah.
whatever his name is in Philly. The latest plane crash that just happened in Philly,
Right.
and they usually do that during times of sacrifice, right? Like they did that for the majority of guys that go on to win major this or major that, right? Because the first thing that kicked off the year was what happened in New Orleans. New Orleans is hosting all these games. All these games is happening in New Orleans, right? That's how you get blessed, right? That's how they get blessings.
Yeah.
Like right now is a time of sacrifice because you want the gods to bless you, and there's nothing greater than a blood sacrifice. So look out for Philadelphia Eagles to win, because the first one that happened was in Washington.
Right.
So who knows?
It says, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them.
Yeah. And that love goes into labor. I was telling on the way down here, love is actually a labor. It's a labor. It's a work. You have to serve. You have to do things. You can't say you love someone and you're lazy.
action word.
Yeah, exactly. It's a labor. You have to be doing work. You have to be progressively going somewhere. You can't just be stagnant. You keep work to try to be right. You don't have to take the low when someone's arguing with you. You don't have to humble yourself. Labors that you have to do because the flesh doesn't want to do it. That's a labor. They don't want to do that. So that's why they hate the truth, because it's hard. And in terms of application, but if you have faith and you understand that it's simple, you're good. You'll be efficient.
Just two more. It says, verse 11, so Yahweh Shem Shai will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. Then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth.
That's it.
Since you mentioned the three states,
Oh, yeah, Con.
this is Revelation 16 and 13. In the NLT, it says,
And every one of those states, or the city states, they have obelisks. It's just to let you know what they worship, man. Every single one of them.
And I saw three evil spirits that looked like frogs leap from the mouths of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. Verse 14, they are demonic spirits who work miracles and go out to all the rulers of the world to gather them for battle against the Lord.
And if you know anything, if you're just dealing with the Vatican alone can hold the power structure of the world through the Jesuits. If you know who the Jesuits are, man, you would wonder what we're doing, even preaching what we're preaching. We should be fearful of the Jesuits, but because we're backed by Yahweh Shem Shai, we're going to do what we do. But the Jesuits are nobody to play with. They'll take out militaries.
Yeah.
That's how serious the Jesuits are, man. They're straight up killers, man.
Yeah, the word Vatican allegedly means a soothsayer or soothsaying serpent.
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, kind of.
So it says, verse 14, they are demonic spirits who work miracles and go out to all the rulers of the world to gather them for battle against the Lord on that great judgment day of the Most High, Power Almighty. It says, look, and this is Yahushua, verse 15, look, I will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Blessed are all who are watching for me, who keep their clothing ready so they will not have to walk around naked and ashamed.
Right.
And the demonic spirits gathered all the rulers and their armies to a place with the Hebrew name Armageddon. Wow.
Come. That's a fact. The one way you can watch for Yahweh is by getting into prophecy.
Other scripture. Just to back up the brothers as we're going into basically saying how this kingdom, this man, Mr. Edom, he operates through through wickedness, by performing enchantments, doing sacrifices that he does. It goes back to the man Cain, because Cain ultimately, when he was the scene, when he was offering sacrifice to the Heavenly Father, he didn't do it the right way. So therefore, the Most High accepted his sacrifice. The same thing with this man, Mr. Edom. This book of Genesis 4, verse 7, and it says, 7 verse 5, it says, But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Yeah. So Cain wasn't getting blessed. Respect needs to look back. So Cain offered his offering, and then Abel's getting blessed. He's not getting blessed. Like, what the hell?
That's right.
So then that's how, he probably went to inquire a prophet or a priest at the time, or his father, Adam, and the verdict was the Most High rejected your offering.
Yep.
You're being disobedient.
Yep. It says verse 6, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. That's why the man is able to rule over the world through wickedness, through sin, and uses sin and witchcraft to be able to cast out spells on people to where he doesn't do his bidding. Right? That's that side.
The precept. Psalms 144 verse 7, it reads, send thine hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children. Right? We know, scripture say the enemy shall come in like a flood. Right? So it's the name of Yahweh Shem Shai alone that's gonna be the hedge of protection in that day. Whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. Right? They speak empty things, these wicked Edomites. And his right hand meaning his strength. It's falsehood, deception, the wiles of the devil. His sorcery, his enchantments. The whole planet, the whole world is under a heavy, heavy spell, man. 2/3 of our people, they're walking zombies. They're dumb. They're dead. The heathen nations forget about it. We don't care about them, right? But 2/3 of our people, they co-sign with the beast. They subscribe. They've liked. They follow.
Yeah. And you said dead, and when you go into that word dead in the Greek or born, it says natos, natos, and it basically, brother could probably get it, but man, I'll get it later. But it goes into your heritage. Like if you don't know, when you're born into your heritage, right? So when you're born into your heritage. If you deny your heritage, what does that mean? That's why you're like being dead. Okay, you can't deny what you were born into. That's why like Jake doesn't understand this is a heritage. And even if they know it's a heritage, they play around with it like it's not. You know what I mean? You can't just say I left GMS, so now I don't call anything. This is like your identity. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like that.
Yeah, it's your bloodline.
Yep.
Deeper than just a count, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not even about the count,
Exactly.
It's actually who you are,
Exactly.
Jake just wanna be Babylonian.
All right.
That's right.
I think a lot of our people confuse bloodline with nationality. So they think that because they're the physical landmass that they're born under, they think that's their nationality. But bloodline supersedes that, right? Paul says, he described himself as a Roman, but he also said, I'm an Israelite, I'm a tribe of Benjamin, right? And people don't see that because, like you were saying,
Or you mean citizenship.
Citizenship and bloodline. But a lot of people confuse the two and thinking that they're synonymous, but they're not, right? And Paul said, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, right? So what you are is you go back to your father's, on your father's bloodline, right?
I have another one here. Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. And that begins with his truth. Right? The truth is poked holes in Esau's pseudoscience, his philosophy, his sorcery. The elect, hopeful elect, we're going with that number, have come back into their heritage. Meanwhile, Jake's out here. I rep C block. I ban these colors. Right? They're lost. They're not. They're gone.
That's right.
Have a precept? This is Jeremiah 17:5 in the NLT. This is what the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai says. Cursed are those who put their trust in mere humans, who rely on human strength and turn their hearts away from the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Right, two-thirds of people, they're already showing signs of glorifying Elon, man. All this is a breakthrough in science. My grandmother could walk again. I no longer need dialysis. Right? They're gonna believe in this thing.
Yeah, because it works.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like left-hand side power. It's not like it's not a hoax.
No.
It's rebellion, but it's not a hoax. It works. And the problem with our people, they don't understand that like all the people you see around you that will say, because they don't know Israel, will just say what you think an Israelite looks like. You're not meant to be with them or partake in their festivities. Just because things like, for instance, Christians will say, I've called on Jesus Christ my whole life and I've had miracles happen. So what? Don't you know to the left-hand side?
That's right.
Who gives a shit if the miracle worked? Where do you think it's coming from? How do you know where it's coming from? If these Christians read, if our people actually read, you would know that Moses was dealing with the Egyptians that had their own magi's, and the shit worked. They were doing the same miracles, but the thing is that because the right hand is more powerful than the left hand, Moses' serpent ate theirs. They had two of them. So our people don't understand, like, just because it worked doesn't mean it's right. You know what I mean?
And guess what? All to add on to that, Christians in this time, they're supposed to be winning in a sense. You know what I mean? These other false religions are supposed to look like they got it going on. You know what I mean? The Lord set that up as a snare. You know, so if the Lord bless you as a quote unquote Christian, then yeah, like you said, you're supposed to get blessed. Like look at these entertainers and shit like that. You know, look all the wickedness they do. They're getting quote unquote blessed.
Yeah, Angeles. What was his name? TD Snakes, right? He already living it up, but now he's on his way out, right? Because look what happened to Eddie Long, right? He got AIDS and you know he died. It's judgment from Heavenly Father, right? But he was a quote unquote a Christian, right?
They are like sun shrubs in the desert with no hope for the future. They will live in the barren wilderness in an uninhabited salty land. But blessed are those who trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They have made the Lord their hope and confidence. They are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried by long months of drought. Their leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit. The human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really knows how bad it is?
That hard to talk about is talk about mind. Because people have evil thoughts, right? Look at what Cain did to his brother. He killed his brother, right? Because he did something more acceptable than going off of his own vain opinion. Because Esau had his own vain opinion. Oh, let me do this before the Most High, even though I know he's not going to accept it. In the law, like it's already been oral. Like this is the routine, chain of command: sacrifice a unblemished, lamb or of that or a bullock. Like he went about his own way, and let me sacrifice some fruits, right? And that's not acceptable.
Right. And you know why he was doing that too? It's because Cain was focusing on Abel. He was focusing on Abel, and he was competing with Abel instead of just dealing with him and the Most High. So if Abel's gonna do this, I'm doing the opposite. That's F him. Because he's the oldest. Cain's the oldest. So you gotta think, it doesn't tell you how long or how old Cain was before Abel was born. Years could have went by where Cain was getting all the attention. He's that child. He's the firstborn. You know how the heritage goes with the firstborn. And then Abel's coming as the secondborn, and he's out doing the firstborn. So now you're starting to focus on Abel instead of focusing on the Most High. And a lot of our people are like that. You look at the prophets as just men. You don't know that they're vessels, they're conduits for a higher power. You can't look at it personally. You can't look at this thing carnally. You have to be a spiritual minded man for the Lord to be dealing with you. That's why Cain was rejected.
I just want to just expound on verse 6, what the brother Hadabia brought out, because it says you shall inhabit the salty land. Just look at like how Sodom and Gomorrah is uninhabitable to this day. Like it's now considered an actual salt pit. So that's what this place has in store. Like this place is just going to be a wasteland after the destruction.
So the new Dead Sea.
Yeah,
part of it.
Yeah,
and then for certain hospitable animals that are like volatile, right? So
yeah. So basically, it's going to be barren, uninhabitable, and that's due to it now having a salty nature. And that shows that the Lord is very angry. The Lord is very salty. If you really understand. So, let's bring that up.
And just to finish it off. But I, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, search all hearts and examine secret motives. I give all people their due rewards according to what their actions deserve. And that just goes back like when we're talking about action, right? if you're really about this truth and you're really about serving Yahweh Shem Shai, it has to be done through action, not just, through mouth or, or what you think. Like it has to be, according to the word, and you have to show the Lord that we're
Yeah, 'cause
how
it
bad
says
we want
if you love
something.
me, if you love me, keep my flaws. That's action, man.
Yep.
Better take action to do that.
That's right. And how can power be displayed if you're just not doing anything? Power needs to be displayed so people can understand, oh crap. Like, they can be put in fear, really. Because then that's where the respect and the obedience comes out. Like when Korah and those guys were stirring up a rebellion to Moses, because they felt like Moses chose Aaron. Again, focusing on the man instead of the Most High. Aaron was being chosen by the Most High, but they were stirring up like, yo, you're not only an Israelite, we're Levites too. Most High caused a whole, like seeing that is devastating. If that's a devastating thing. But the Most High does that so that people can be around you, fear. That power the Most High displays is so that people can be, afraid.
It was the earth, it cracked open.
Right.
It wasn't even a sinkhole, so the earth cracked open. You just fell into the abyss. Shawwal. Great. That's scary, man. You know how far you're falling, you're just
Terrifying, man.
into darkness. That's terrifying.
Yeah. You don't know where you're gonna land, what you're gonna land on. You're out. You know what I mean? You just land on whatever.
The impact.
Yes.
Yeah, the impact is pretty brutal because, you can die from the impact, even like from like people with bombs, like when it drops. Some people might not get hit by the bomb. But the impact was so strong, your lungs could actually explode.
That's right.
Have a precept. This is James chapter 2, verse 14. Point will be made in verse 17 and 18. So it says here, what doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? That's a good question. These are all questions, and that's what people don't do. They don't ask questions about things that are spiritual. They'll just go into something and not question it and not think about anything. And that's these modern day Christians. They talk first before they actually think and do what they're supposed to do. So this is verse 17, and it says, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Right? So that's why it says in Isaiah 8:20, they don't speak according to the law and to the testimony. So you have to speak those things, and you have to actually do them, right? Because that's what it comes with the testimony. You're actually going back into the word and looking at the actions of others and what's going to play out into the future, right? So you got to have faith and you have to have works. It's very important. That's all I got.
And to testify, you actually have to have something to say. You have to actually have a testimony. And when people get called up to testify, you're testifying because you actually have information that's going to be pertinent to the case. A lot of people are just talking.
Right.
Talking with no knowledge.
Precept. Romans 6 and 16, NLT. Don't you realize that you become the slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads.
That's why in this truth you have to be good at something, right? You have to know what you're good at.
Exactly.
Right? So we can call you up and be like, okay, well, you're an expert at this. Right? In court cases, you have expert witnesses that are known for this, known for that. What are you brothers known for? Right? You can't just be known for being a parrot. Can't just be known for that's right. No, you have to be known for something, known for knowledge, right? Oh, let me call up that brother. That brother is good at that, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says you can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey Yahweh Shemel Shai, which leads to righteous living. And also to bring that point, because you mentioned about, I guess these Edomites, these people, the rulers that they have, they're also gods too. with their healing people, with the chip, and all that type of stuff. But I think someone might have mentioned it, but it leads to death at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All it's gonna lead to death. It might feel good right now,
Sure.
but eventually it's gonna kill you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
so that's the trap.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's because the fear of the Lord is not in that knowledge.
That's right. Hey, just like they were able to create food.
Yeah.
They're able to create food, which is amazing.
Mhm.
But guess what? Food's killing us.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's adverse to the way the Most High set it up.
Exactly.
So the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Exactly. Which lets us know that you're not really a god. You are a god, small g, but you're not a god.
That's right. That's right.
So Trump will skip to the point, and it says, okay, verse 20. When you were slaves to sin, you were free from the obligation to do right. And what was the result?
Hey, that's a demon, eh? When you're a slave to sin, you got a demon on you, like a junkie, right?
Yeah.
A junkie has a demon on him. He's a slave to sin. He can't get that. They said he can't get the monkey off his back, right? And it goes for many things. You can be a slave to sex. What do they call those people? Nymphos.
Yeah.
All types of shit. There's different names, right?
White liver.
White liver. You could be an alcoholic, right? There's many different vices.
It says, you are now ashamed of the things you used to do, things that end in eternal doom. Verse 22, but now you are free from the power of sin and have become slaves unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now you do those things that lead to holiness and result in eternal life. Verse 3,
which is really being a slave to truth.
Yeah.
Right? Because when that truth, when she binds you, she holds you. Right? That's why it lets you know that much studies are weariness of the flesh. And it really is. But guess what? That's still the love of our lives. You know what I mean? Like, because they did a study and they said that knowledge offends people. So brothers who are actually intelligent, you're going to offend people because they're going to feel lesser around you, even when you're not downgrading them. You might even downgrade your knowledge to reason with them, and they're still going to feel offended by your knowledge. Right? They just did a study. They said it's the same thing that happens when you threaten somebody. So that's how powerful knowledge is. People feel the same way, like if you're threatening them.
I can imagine what happened when you had a shadow when you had to deal with sex.
Exactly. As a child, from he was a child.
Probably worse as a child because he's younger than all these other people he's talking to.
Just like Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Jeremiah.
That's why we got Hebrews 4 and 12. Because through the marrow, the heart, right through the soul.
Yeah.
Truth is terrifying,
Verse was the last one. It says, for the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of Yahweh Shem Shai is eternal life through Mashiach, our Lord.
I got a precept on that because that's powerful that we went into in regards to Yahweh's presence when he was a child, right? And I'm going to read the precept. This is wisdom of Solomon. Actually, Ecclesiastes, Sirach 24:1. It says, "Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people." Right? And he says, "In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power." So I'm just saying that to say, when you look at this word power, it's going into, there's so many levels to it, right? Because the Lord, while he was young, he was doing miracles, right? Right up to, well, not miracles, but when he spoke and when he did his thing, you could see that he was, that the Spirit was on him. That's what I'm saying. And then that, translated right into miracles and so forth and so forth. So
that's why his mother already came to him.
Yeah, go ahead,
Turn the water.
That's the point.
I need more wines.
That's the point.
She already knew that he could do things like that.
From the womb.
In the book of John, it says that he did so many things that if you were to write it down, the books couldn't continue.
That's right.
That's right. And the scripture says wisdom was before him. So wisdom is going to result.
Leading him.
Leading. That's the whole concept. Yeah. That's it.
He's one of those special childs, like, come out, see those movies, that child's like one doing things that a 5-year-old does. It was like that because the Spirit was in him in the womb. We all have stories like that. Those are the hope for life. You have stories like that. When you're a child, you did things that are just kind of like, what the heck? Because it's pattern after Yahweh Shai. So yeah, you're right. Like that's why his mom knew that strange things your whole life.
That's it, that's it. Every man here can testify to that.
Yeah.
We could write books, and many books, right? Because the Lord, wisdom is being exalted in the men, right? That's it.
I have a precept.
Okay, go to you.
John 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. And just line backing what the elder was saying, you know, people don't want to be around you because your light, it exposes their shortcomings, their wickedness. You know. Yeah.
Just kind of point to what you're saying. Also, you don't want to be around them.
Yeah, can't.
Because you see those people. You'll eventually get to the point where it's like, yo, I can't be around this person. Because your spirit wants to tell them the truth.
Judge them.
Yeah, judgment is like, yo, I have to remove myself. Because it's like cause more problems. It's like, you just remove myself. You just go somewhere else.
And they don't feel like you have the power to judge.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just like what I was saying, you find yourself dumbing yourself down, and that's tiring, man. You know, dumbing yourself down, biting your tongue, you're not rebuking them. That's tiring. You just remove yourself. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you're right. It takes energy to decrease energy.
Yeah. That's why I think it was Peter where it says, if your peace is not returned back on you, dust your feet off and remove yourself from that city. Because eventually you're gonna have to make a decision. Either I keep doing this or I just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because you're just wasting energy. You're putting giving pros on the swine.
Exactly.
Right? And
And
the
you'll
most
become a swine.
yeah, and the most size exactly. And most size wisdom is very precious. So you can't be just giving it to everybody. So it gets to a certain point, it's like, okay, let me just keep it moving because I have work to do.
Exactly.
I have work to do. I'm wasting my time here.
Well, if you give it to everybody, you're not a good judge of character.
Yeah.
You have to be a good judge of character.
That's close to
the number one thing when you come to this truth. You learn how to read people. So if you come into this thing, you've been in this thing 5, 6, 7 years longer. You're gonna start reading people, man. And it just comes with the territory. You're gonna know when somebody's happy, somebody's sad, somebody's off. And how do you know? It's spiritual.
I got a quick one.
This brother Alex.
Oh no, yeah, that's lucky. Yeah, that's right.
Real quick. This is a book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 22. Going to wisdom. It says, for wisdom, which is a worker of all things, taught me, for in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain.
So that means sometimes you have to learn how to separate yourself. That's what the brothers are really going into. Because when you're talking about friends that you have to dumb yourself down for, you really and truly just have to separate yourself. That's why great men are usually loners.
Exactly.
And it just comes with the territory, right? It might not be fun. I know for sure it's not fun because sometimes you're just by yourself and you just want to do something, you just want to get out. But to be a great man, you're going to be lonely.
That's right.
It just comes with the territory, man. It's just is what it is. You're not even going to understand by your family, right? Forget about that. That's why it's such a beautiful thing that we have a brotherhood. Because to have a brotherhood is actually a blessing from the Most High.
Yeah.
Because we all could have just been by ourselves. We've seen camps where it was just one brother. You could just be like, you could just imagine what he's going through.
Yeah.
Right?
So Elijah bugged out. He was the only one. He's like, yo, he was bugging out. He was like, don't worry. I got 700,000 men. Don't worry, man. You're not by yourself. You're not the only one who thinks this. That's maddening.
It is.
It's maddening.
But it's a blessing because, as the brother mentioned, the Lord was bringing inward agitation to Elijah to separate him.
Exactly.
That's ultimately what it was.
It is.
His will to be exalted.
Yeah, I imagine. Great movie.
And it's true too, because it is a burden and a blessing at the same time. Because ultimately, like when we know this truth, people don't take it because the way you present it or the case may be. Like the scripture that says that he that increases in wisdom or learning increases in sorrow.
Exactly.
So the more you learn, the more it actually irks you. That living in a world filled with like wickedness and and lies.
And that's why it's good to teach the way we're teaching because people have misconceptions of what this truth is.
There you go.
Right? We think it's just all happiness, joy, joy.
Yeah.
So when you find out what it really is, you have to accept what you're coming into.
Right.
That's why it's a beautiful thing that starting with the elder apostles on down, brothers said they're gonna slow up how quickly brothers come into this thing so you can actually analyze your life and see if this is something you actually want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Good.
We're gonna precept.
Oh, this is finished.
Oh, you done?
A little bit more left here. Real quick. It says, one only, mindful, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding.
Yeah, because that you're gonna learn how to be a judge.
Exactly.
You're learning how to be a great judge, man. See? So that's what I'm saying. To be a judge is not for everybody.
That's right.
Because you have to be all of that.
Exactly.
It says, pure and most subtle spirits, for wisdom is more moving than any motion, which passeth and goeth.
And most people are emotional.
That's right.
Most people are they judge based off of their emotions. Right? But it's letting you know how you should be, right? As a man of the Lord, right? Or just as a man, period. So, because the majority of the world just goes off of emotion. Oh,
That's
this
right.
is how I felt. Why did you do what you did? I felt it.
It says that she passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. And the spirit means simple, it's plain. Like when you say, like, no, there's only two genders, there's sex, there's male and female. Like, people kind of see that, man, because it's so plain, so easy to see, right?
But yeah, but they receive when a rich man says it.
Yeah, God.
Right? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yo.
When they condemned us.
Exactly.
They condemned us.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
We got
Exactly.
condemned.
Exactly.
They were gonna charge us, they were gonna do all types
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got channels taken down.
Con.
Misinformation.
Yeah, come.
Misinformation.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. And every now and again, Elon will post on X, man and women, and then a bunch of bullshit. And man and women, like it's just it's like a sandwich, and the people are like, yeah, that's right, that's true.
And now, what's his name is getting down with it? The Instagram guy, Meta guy. Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, give me back my old channels.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have a precept for you. You just mentioned it.
Okay. Well, ask Kamar has a precept. He's holding one.
Yeah, I appreciate real quick, because before the spirit passes, as you mentioned, you have
Spirit
to
never pass.
right. So
Spirit never pass.
so like because you mentioned that the Lord, where you guys you have to isolate yourself. Great men usually do that, right? So this is Mark chapter 1, verse 35, and it says here, and in the morning, rising up a great while before day, he went out and departed into a solitary place, and there prayed, right? And Simon and they that were with him followed after him. So, even Yahushua, he had to separate himself, from the disciples. The disciples were righteous men. So even times as a great man, you're going to have to isolate yourself and do spiritual things on your own to build yourself up, because you're walking that straight and narrow path, and it's lonely. Another man can't save you, so you're gonna have to do things on your own to get stronger.
That's right.
Relying on the Lord.
That's right.
Right. So it is important to isolate yourself. Yahushua did it, so that's not a bad thing necessarily.
And guess what? The number one thing that you learn about in this world is that there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, man. So once you separate yourself, you get to drown out that noise and find out, hey, maybe I'm the demon. So once you separate yourself, you get to find out, is that noise within me?
Right.
That's right.
Right. So it's good to isolate yourself so you can find out, hey, am I mad? So you can start from ground zero just to be like, okay, if I go out in this world, I know when something is off because I know what I feel like to be by myself. I know what my energy is like. I know what my spirit is like. Because you could be the demon.
Right.
You could be the demon. Right? Come in the room and everybody's, tense. Could be because of you.
Exactly. You think it's the other way around.
That's true. Yeah, it is true because for example is Saul. You know, he
Yeah.
thought he was in he was still the king, but Mosai was slowly demoting him
Mhm.
based off of his
Disobedience.
yeah, his disobedience,
Yeah.
and then he was that pride was getting
That's
getting
right.
hold of him.
Mhm.
And all that was fear.
And you couldn't see it.
Yeah, his pride was just fear. He didn't want to. And Saul kept telling him, yo, you gotta do it this way. Like when you go to war, you have to, you talk to the priest, you can do a sacrifice in the hopes of winning the war. That man got impatient
Mhm.
because the Philistines were coming up. So he's like, fuck it, let's just go, we'll do the sacrifice. And they won, and then he thought, okay, if I keep the rest, I can do that as a sacrifice to the Lord. Like that's backwards, man.
Mhm.
That's backwards. So he was hasting.
Woe to you that lost patience.
Exactly. And he was full of press.
Yeah.
Even to the
Only
point
until
where
David came around and then played the harp.
yeah, but even above that, that demon was heavy because when he was
Yeah.
playing, because David could sing well. He was a songwriter, he could sing, and he had martial arts. Playing the song, the song was good. That demon was like, fuck that. Do the javelin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was constantly depressed. Even his soldiers came up against him when he made that foolish vow on Jonathan.
Mm.
Jonathan, his son, when he was able to save Gabish, and he was able to defeat the Philistines because of his son. The son took another man, they took out like 30 of them. The Lord gave that to them and then gave courage to everybody else and weakness to the Philistines. And he got excited about it because he's like, this is my victory over David. I can do something. He's like, no one eat anything the whole time until we fight. These guys are like, what? Jonathan didn't hear it, ate some honey, and he was refreshed. I'm gonna kill my son because he disobeyed my thing. Everybody's like, yo, that's not even right, bro. We have to eat to win this war.
But you can see it like with him, like everything's about him. Everything's
Exactly.
about him.
Exactly.
Everything's about me. I'm the best. I'm better than everyone. I'm better than David. No one can touch me. I'm top, the tallest guy in Israel. The Lord chose me first.
Yeah, because killing your son over that, what is that law?
Yeah.
As a judge, your son should be able to go and say, hey, what's my sin?
Right.
What law did I break?
And he offended in the spirit because remember what happened is he contacted the priest and he wasn't getting an answer from the Lord. Then he knew that okay, somebody must have broke the vow I made. Right? So the Lord is very strict, but you can offend in letter, but you can offend in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So like what you're saying, you would have offended in the spirit. He might have thought he was right against the letter of the law because someone broke a vow, but you offended in the spirit. That's not wisdom.
That's right.
You weren't applying what's it called, expedient. Things are lawful but not expedient.
That's right.
So that's why his people were like, yo, this guy, he's losing it.
You became a fanatic.
Exactly.
Dangerous people, man. Those guys in Chicago are making brothers do push-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Verse 37, it says, and when they had found him, they said unto him, all men seek for thee. And it was to the point where he isolated himself, where the disciples came looking after him, looking for him, right? And just like, yo, that's how it is sometimes, your family members will do that too. Sometimes you isolate yourself, people are like, where is this guy? You fell off the earth. Where are you? We need you, right? Verse 38 says, and he said unto them, let us go into the next towns, that I may preach there also. For therefore came I forth. And then there's a time where you got actual balance where you don't want to isolate yourself for too long.
Mm-hmm.
And some men get caught up in that stupor where they're just sitting by themselves thinking that's a good thing. When really, you may think you're isolating yourself, but the Lord is really separating himself from you, just like King Saul. He realized, King Saul thought everybody was against him, but you were really against the Lord, and everybody's trying to stay away from you, man. Right? So here's a balance. No worries.
Nicolas Cage. He was like 2008 or 2010, something like that. He was a hitman, but he kept to himself mostly. But he said, you have to be among people sometimes because if you stay away from people for too long, they'll start to seem strange, and everything will start to seem strange. Like when you walk through a store or wherever you walk, it'll mess you up. So he's like, even though he's by himself, he has to go among people and.
Yeah, I've been around people like that who are awkward around people, and it's not good to be like that.
That's just new generation.
Yeah, con.
I'm up. Got a 3% once you're done. But
You ever been up to a girl like that?
Oh,
You just talk to her, she's just like, she's scared. And then, but if you message her online and say, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Two different people.
You're so separated from reality.
Wrong woman, wrong.
that's right.
That's right.
Go ahead.
3% going into being generous. Generous as as a person in Jerusalem to this ministry and to Yahushua. So this is the book of Sirach 14 and it's 5, and it reads, "How can you be generous with others if you're stingy with yourself? If you're not willing to enjoy your own wealth, no one is worse off than someone who is stingy with himself. It is a sin that brings its own punishment. When such a person does something good, it is only by accident. His selfishness will sooner or later be evident. A selfish person is evil. He turns his back on people needs, and he's never satisfied with it. And he's never satisfied with what he has greed." So it's pretty much going into, if you know someone, you can read someone by his spirit. That person being sincere with you as a brother, right?
Yeah. Mindset of Cain.
Mm-hmm.
Mindset of Cain and Esau.
No, those are.
I had a priesthood.
Oh
Yeah, I had going back to Elon Musk. People listen to him when he speaks.
Right.
It's Ecclesiasticus 13 and 23. It says, "When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look, what he said, they extol it to praise to the clouds. But if the poor man speaks, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him." And these people, they see us every day on the highways and the byways, see us on the unicorn. They don't listen. They don't pay attention to what we're saying. In fact, they come to the comment board and they scoff instead of listening, because, you know what I'm saying, like, you as a person, like the person who's listening, what you want to talk about, you already know. But what we're saying to you is new information to you. So why not just listen and learn, take heed, you know? But they listen to Elon Musk talking about his science, you know what I'm saying? Which is all, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was given to him by the Most High to create all these miracles so people can be deceived. Anyway, you know?
Yeah, the Neuralink.
The time.
So cool.
Yeah. You know, like you said, my grandmother can walk again.
Yeah, true.
And if you know anything about
True.
space programs, which Elon Musk, he has a space program or X, or
Mhm.
whatever, you should know that he's a Luciferian.
Mhm.
Anybody that deals with astrology, anybody that deals with going into space, every single astronaut was a 33-degree Mason. Every single one.
But
Every single one.
he makes it known though, because the last time he wore a white jacket, on the back of it, it was it said yeah, you know. So he's not hiding it. He's letting you know who he is.
Yeah, they have to do it.
Mhm.
They have to do that for the power to actually work.
That's why you trade Twitter to X.
To X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
They have to let you know their plans before they execute it.
Confession.
Yeah,
It's a confession.
Well, we told you.
Exactly.
You know, that's their whole thing.
And then they're the ones that are doing the wicked act. They have to confess to Satan too, right? So by confessing to Satan, you have to let people know what you're doing. It's just like us.
That's what I was just
Right,
about to say. It's the same thing on the right hand side.
We have to confess.
Yeah,
We have
we
to
prophesy.
exactly let people know. They ask, well, what is this? What's the plan?
That's how we wash our hands.
Exactly.
They have to do it on the left hand side.
Exactly. That's it.
That's why these people don't understand. That's why you're not supposed
Mhm.
You're supposed to always prophesy. You're supposed to always preach. You know, so you can your hands, man.
They're showing you they worship Satan in the music industry.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know,
Yeah, cut.
they tell you about abominations in food. That's a ritual. They're
Yeah.
making you report
Yes.
human carcass or aborted fetus. Right? You tell people you guys are partaking in the ritual.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
They'll even use control opposition to bring out a whole bunch of information.
Or misinformation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's different information, but some of it is true, right? But they're control opposition. But they'll use these guys to bring out information on what they do, whatnot, so that it's used as a confession to the demon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, control opposition
The
is
Most
just
High will have sometimes whistleblowers, which if
Yeah,
they're really
that's true.
whistleblowers, they'll take them out.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
If you say too
You're
much
right.
things, they'll take them out.
You're right. That's how you
Like
Most High
Eustace Mullins. Looking Eustace Mullins or
Yeah, that's right.
Stanley Kubert.
Yeah.
That's why he showed.
The KGB guy, what's his name again? Yuri. He exposed a lot, man.
The Norton antivirus guy, McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
What about the next guy that, Julian Assange?
He tried, but they've been moving him extradited. I don't remember.
He was WikiLeaks? What was he? What did he do?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, he was WikiLeaks.
He was WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
Quick one. First Samuel 16:6. It says, when they arrived, Samuel took one look at Eliab and thought, surely this is the Lord's anointed. But the Lord said to Samuel, don't judge by his appearance or height, for I have rejected him. The Lord Yahweh Shai doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the mind. The reason I read that is because you're talking about Elon and all these opposed, controlled opposition. Like Andrew Tate's another one. They don't know that they're just being herded, right? All these people follow these guys. They say things aren't good, and eventually they're coming with the zinger, which is the MOTV. But he's gonna say, okay, you know what? You want to be like me, blah 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 blah. You gotta take this, and they're gonna believe it because they're following this guy. You believe in what he's saying. So all these guys are just. Sorry?
You want the Bugatti?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
You guys are rich as fuck.
Exactly. So it all distracts, all of them. They're hirelings. Right? So the other point was that because our people, the Lord's not dealing with them, they can't see that these guys are not righteous guys. They're looking at carnal things because they're carnal minded.
And that's why this truth bugs people out.
Yeah.
Because they'll see how we look as maybe a camp or brotherhood, and we look weird.
Yeah.
Like we look strange. We all look strange.
Yeah.
Right? We look like men that should never have even met.
Yeah.
Right? We were all living separate lives.
That's true.
We were never supposed to be quote unquote friends.
Yeah.
But once you learn about what brotherhood is, a brother or a friend cannot be known until adversity.
Yeah.
So because we're going through adversity together, that's a real friend. It's a real friend. That's how we're gonna know. And some brothers are gonna be closer than others, but you know a real friend through adversity.
Yeah.
Right? You can't know a friend in prosperity.
No.
So that's why brothers who do make it into the chariots, they're gonna be brothers for life, man. For life. You and you help. Yeah. Yeah, stand corrected for eternity.
You still know?
No, that's it.
Okay, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9 in the NLT. It says, instead, I sometimes think the Most High has put us apostles on display like prisoners of war at the end of a victor's parade, condemned to die. We have become a spectacle to the entire world, to people and angels alike. Our dedication to Yahweh look like fools.
Hey, and if you know anything about the job title, it's always been that way. We are actually in the best time period of being a prophet. Because back in the day, they were subject to death. Now, even though we are, there's certain laws that protect us. That's why when you see us on the highways and byways, we pull out their law books on them. You couldn't do that back in the day and be like, hey, this is my right to do this. No, off with his head. Off with his head. Stone him.
It's true. And you know, certain prophets were put out on display in humiliation. Like Jeremiah was put in stocks. So it is like that. You are a prisoner of war, and you know, the scriptures talks about that too. It says the captive exile hasteneth to be loose. So, you know, we are prisoners of war, and we are exiled from our home.
That's
you know?
right, man.
It sucks, man.
He's in the dungeon of shit.
Oh yeah, you have that too.
Yeah. Just sit there.
In the sword.
Yeah, come. No joke, man. You know what's in sewers, right? My worst fear, I hate rats.
Yeah,
No rats, I hate rats. I hate rats, man. I don't know, it just makes my skin crawl, you know what I mean? So to be in a sewer, you know you're gonna see those fucking big ass rats. They've been living for years.
They don't play. They don't play around.
Yo, they'll try to bite you.
There's one in I went to go through all my garbage, right? And it's been gnawed at. And I'm like, what the fuck? He looked at me like this.
Who are you? Yeah.
Because he's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this is my spot."
Yeah.
She's like, "That's not
That's all they had.
Because it was empty. It was
They're
garbage.
bold.
I think the morning, and I went to go through this. I'm like, how the fuck did he get in there? But the bin is right there. Then my stairs is going up, so the neighborhood just, that's a lucky spot for him.
Yeah,
He just dumpster dives when he wants. In this.
If you look back at you and you were Chinese, you would have run.
What happened?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Moab catches them with his hands.
Mhm.
You don't have no fear, man.
Skin them alive.
Yeah, they don't like Kamar?
Yeah, there's a little more. It says 1 Corinthians 4:10 says our dedication to Yahweh Shai makes us look like fools.
Right.
But you claim to be wise in Yahweh Shai. We
That's
are
a, that's a good word too, that word dedication, man. Because to be a part of this thing, you don't have a choice because the scripture says you have to be hot or cold. So if you're not dedicated, that means you're not hot.
That's right. It says, but you claim to be so wise in Yahweh Shai. We are weak, but ye are so powerful. You are honored, but we are ridiculed. Right? So yeah, we aren't the strongest in terms. I'm sorry, we're not the strongest in terms of carnal things. Going back to what the brother Mayan brought up, the poor man's wisdom is despised. We don't have a lot of substance or resources. We don't got homes. We don't got mega mansions. You don't got 20 cars.
Yeah. All these pastors, they have private jets.
Yeah.
We don't have, where's our private jets?
Exactly.
You've been in this truth for a long time.
Exactly.
The fuck? Where's our private jet? Like in what's that TV show? Gemstones. The Righteous Gemstones. Yeah. Those guys have a freaking what do you call it? Roller coasters and they have everything, man. We don't have an equity.
They have a private community they live in.
Yeah, they live in a private community. They have to take a car just to go to their parents' house, man. That's how big the property is.
That's right.
Shit.
I have the word spectacle. It's very important. You read it, and Brother went into it a little bit. Just for the record, real quick, it says, in regards to the men of the Lord's spectacles, it says the sense of object of public contempt.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? And here's the beautiful part about it. The next part, it says derision or wonderment. Right? Which goes back to wisdom being with these men, but they can't figure it out. What's going on with these guys? These fucking guys, get off the street.
Yeah,
That's right.
contempt means open disregard and open disregard and disrespect.
True.
And it's even worse for us because none of them have been able to come against us yet, meaning that they haven't been able to topple the knowledge of Yahweh Shem. That's even worse. It'd be easy for them to come up and then to despise us and then also to be able to
break us down.
Yeah. But the fact that we are lower than you, we're poor, we don't have anything, some of us are making $10 an hour or whatever the case may be. And you're like, damn, but the knowledge that they have, I don't exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a heavy trick bag the Most High set up.
Yeah, God.
It's a heavy trick bag.
It goes on to say real quick, it says,
There's one guy years ago, he typed on the comment board, he's like, I don't know why the city doesn't come and slap these guys with fines.
Yeah, kind
of. He's like, I see them outside and then they go to the liquor store right after.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Like we're not human. Like we're supposed to just float away after that.
As if we don't have lives.
Here goes the Israelites.
Wow. Every week, like sometimes every week, they used to follow us. I remember that. Right down to the bottom of the atrium. Right. Anyway, let me read on this real quick. It says wonderment. Right. So when they look at us, they're wondering what's making these men move like that. Right. But that's the Lord putting inward agitation on them.
Hey, but don't you know that's a true public figure? All your prime ministers, your mayors, don't you know you're supposed to be able to get a hold of them at any time? Don't you know I'm supposed to be able to call the mayor right now? Hey, something's going on in the neighborhood. There's crime. Come clean up the fucking crime. A whole bunch of gang members.
Yeah.
They're selling drugs. Come clean it up. Right? You're supposed to be a public figure. These guys, they like the Pope. He's always behind a fucking glass bulletproof case. You're not a man of the Lord.
That's right. Yes.
Servants
Where's
of
your
the
faith?
Lord are supposed to be outside.
Yeah.
Right.
People are supposed to be able to touch you, like they did that for shot.
Right.
Someone shot him.
Yeah, Khan.
Got shot.
Yeah, Khan.
And then I remember years ago, there was Christians trying to say that's the beast. That's a breakdown from Revelation.
Yeah, Khan.
He got shot.
Yeah.
But now we can't believe that.
Wow.
But where's your faith when you do that, though? You know, I thought you're supposed to be this divine entity
Yeah,
protected by God,
Yeah.
right? And you lack faith. You put on bulletproof or bulletproof car, or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything is bulletproof women.
I wonder how they reason that with Satan.
Just
You know
to
what I mean?
add,
In their mind, like why didn't? Because obviously for us, when something bad happens to us, we know the Most High is backing us up.
right, right.
We have a straightforward, simple reason.
Huh.
Esau, you're doing all your sacrifice thinking that there's nothing ever going to happen. So when those things
True.
happen, wonder how you reason Satan.
True.
Your mind.
True.
You know?
But because those guys, they touch so many kids. There's a lot of people that they touch that actually suffer from mental illness.
Yes.
So there's always people that can just come back.
Yes. Yeah.
Because those kids actually go through serious traumas.
Serious stuff.
Those are not no joke.
Yeah.
I remember when it happened here in Toronto with a whole hockey team. Right? There was a coach that was doing it for years and years and years to where these men are now grown ass men. And then the knowledge came out. Yeah, that was a couple years. Not a couple, but
yeah, it was a couple of years, like 6,
yeah,
7 years.
but it was a big deal because it
thing,
happened over years.
I remember that. Yeah.
But just, I know, I just want to just add because what the word that he's going into, spectacle, because when you go into the Greek, it says theatron, which just really goes back to theater, right? So really, if you go into the definition, that's going into a public show.
Exactly.
You know, so really it is a show.
That's
And you know, sometimes it looks terrible, you know, because some brothers, you know, maybe your hair is unkept, you're spitting, you're coughing. Sometimes you may not do the breakdown properly by accident, but your heart is still good. So it looks like it's rough. So yeah, it's supposed to look that way, you know.
Judges 5:11.
Yep. And court was kept out in the public in the ancient world, right?
Yeah.
They do it now. In the court build, Agora. So that's also adding to what you're saying. Like it's supposed to be done out like that because this is a court session.
Hey, but that's why when the elder Apostle Tahar says, "Oh, excuse my my rant."
Yeah, my rant.
It's like you can't rant, my guy. Everything that comes out of your mouth is jewelry. You know what I mean? Like someone with as much knowledge as you is still jewelry.
Yeah, he's
You
always
can't rant.
He's always dropping gems. Man.
Exactly. Gems are gonna drop.
But imagine if he didn't say that. If he didn't say that, you would just think that's what it is. But him saying that, showing that he's striving for more.
It's true. Yeah,
So it's like an example for us. Like, yo, when I hear him say, because it's the same thing for me, I hear him ramble and he's like, yo, forgive my rant. I gotta get back to the point. He's like, he's cursing himself out. But I'm like, yo, I'm writing down some things like, yo, I gotta look this up, gotta look that up.
Yeah, correct.
But that's showing he's striving something for even more. So we gotta keep doing the same thing.
This is powerful. It says here, mid 14th century, right? The spectacle also device for assisting or enhancing vision.
Wow.
So that's the
That's
word
spectacle? That's spectacle?
Yeah,
That's right.
It goes on your face.
Glasses.
Okay.
Yeah, specs.
Right?
That's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the glasses that the guy wore in David.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, man. That's what we have.
Yeah.
And that's why our life has changed. You know what I mean? That's why certain brothers try to go back into the world after because they don't want to see it anymore. It's too much, man.
Like Cypher.
Just like he's gonna pop. He's gonna pop in Matrix. Yeah, I don't remember.
Last part. Well,
Still have a little more.
it says glass or other transparent material. So what you broke down.
Yeah, like a magnifying glass. So sometimes you need a magnifying glass.
Yep.
Right? Only we have it when it comes to this truth. People might be like, "Oh, so what does this mean?" And we're telling them, and they'll be like, "I can't see it." We know you can't see it. We know. That's all right.
Okay, this is verse 11.
Where you at?
1 Corinthians 4:11 says, "Even now we go hungry and thirsty, and we don't have enough clothes to
That's
keep warm. We are often beaten and have no home."
That's right.
And we don't have a home. First of all, we're not in our land.
That's right.
And sometimes, yes, we go homeless. Some of us do.
That's right.
Right?
We're pilgrims.
That's right.
We're on a pilgrimage.
That's right.
We work wearily with our own hands to earn our living. So we're not bums. We have a job. You know, even though people look at us as bums, we're working. We're busy because that's what men are supposed to do. And didn't the Lord say, occupy till I come, which is really going into the work and then doing about your day to day, right?
Occupation.
It says, we bless those who curse us. We are patient with those who abuse us. Long suffering, because there's a lot of, remember Merlin the Wizard? Almost every week, even the cops, every week come up and we're being patient, suffering. Well, you guys experience that more. But I came and I got a taste of that. But you have to be very patient, because if you got angry or you moved on them, you'll get arrested, and that's your ass. And they're justified to kill you.
Looking for disturbing the peace.
Right.
They try to look for anything.
Yeah.
Threatening.
Yep.
Spitting on people,
Spitting.
assault.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, like disturbing the peace. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's
the trespassing.
Just by a line.
Remember
the
the
line?
bags behind the line?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
said you guys can't have the bags.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have the bucket. They live in.
Right in the beginning.
They're like, oh, are you guys begging for change? Like,
You need a permit.
you need a permit for that.
To
You
beg.
know what? People still give us money sometimes.
Always, more than money. People came up with if we wanted food, if we wanted water. What the heck? Those people that supported us from the beginning to the end, man. From the beginning to the end, there's people that supported us, and they're gonna be blessed by y'all. It's not even a joke, man. There's people that always showed respect.
Yeah, they didn't walk past us, and it would be like,
Yeah, kind, like with reverence. Yeah.
It says we are patient with those who abuse us. That's right. There's a lot of abuse that you have to go through. It's a lot of verbal abuse, and it's psychological, because it leaves a picture in your head. Because there's people who came up, they threatened to kill us, right? Stab us, shoot us,
Yeah.
right? So yes, it's like post-traumatic stress too. When you go out there, you got to watch your back, because it's not a game. You could lose your life, so that's the type of abuse we have to put up with. Verse 13, we appeal gently when evil things are said about us, yet we are treated like the world's garbage,
Damn.
like everybody's trash.
Hey, remember they used to throw water?
Yes,
The
from
jackass
a jackass.
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
In the summertime.
That's right.
People also wear when you stop sign.
That's right. That was a point.
That was real quick.
So let me get this word dedicated real quick.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Dedicated in the etymology, it says the action word, the verb. It says set apart and consecrated to a deity or a sacred purpose, right? Past participle.
Yeah, because remember, this is a marriage, right? And as a wife, you're literally dedicated to your husband.
That's right.
That's why the majority of you women in this world, you could never be wives, because you're dedicated to multiple men. Even if you're not dedicated to another man physically, mentally, you guys post. Sorry, go ahead.
Kanye West said, we say Instagram is the man? Or
Yeah, that's right, huh?
Is your girl's man?
Yeah, that's right.
Social media.
And he's
Oh,
right.
it's true. Social media.
He's
Girl's man.
He's right. Just to
They're
get
married
those
to their phone.
Yeah,
They're
kind.
just,
But to be dedicated, you give everything.
That's right.
As soon as we wake,
That's right.
we wake and we're thinking about the truth.
Yeah, and it shows you that dedication is a spiritual thing, both left and right.
Yeah, kind.
Like Esau, he's dedicated. But
What?
it's wicked.
We're still not on his level. We're not on his level. He has power with his dedication.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. It says you're consecrated to a deity. So they're consecrated to the Most High, ultimately, but through Satan. The elect are consecrated to the Most High through Yahweh Shai.
Because Esau knows who he is, especially mainly the elite.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they don't play around.
No, man.
Like, what's his name? Rothschild, the one he goes around the world traveling and doing stuff, and he's out in the woods and stuff.
Well, the elder always mentions him. That goes rock climbing in the winter. And he's-
It looks like Caesar.
Yeah, the one that looks like Caesar. Yeah.
Even the next guy, Rockefeller, the son who got killed
Mm-hmm.
because he went to an island with those Aborigines.
Oh yeah. I remember the brothers brought that up.
Yeah.
At first they were fucking with him. He went there like
And they ate him.
and then one time he just went and you know when
Judge us.
Clothes on the beach.
yeah, he's never heard from him again.
Well, that's what they do though.
There's a picture of him with them.
Yeah. That's what they do. They live, man. They don't play. They live.
I think it was Guinea.
New Guinea. Yeah. Yeah, they live, man. They go to places because remember, the Most High has taken away that hedge from them.
A little bit more. It says proclaim, affirm, and set apart. So proclaim. If you're dedicated, you're gonna proclaim the truth.
That's right.
You know, away. So CD.
Yeah. Part of our proclaiming is these garments. The garments, physically, the knowledge is the garment as well. So you're gonna proclaim it. People are gonna know, yeah, that's the Israelite. I didn't know that. Well, I try to get him to celebrate this. I try to get him to eat pork. He doesn't do none of those things.
Right. Right. It says, so it's a compound word. D means away. And then it says song to show. Right? It says see this diction. Sorry. It says a word since make known. Right? Proclaim, state. So it says to talk, speak, utter, make speech, pronounce. So when you're dedicated to something, you make it known through your speech and through your actions,
That's right.
which are all driven from your mind.
Yeah, because you're not ashamed.
Exactly.
I proclaim this proudly, so to speak.
Exactly. Yep. That's it.
This is Amos 5, verse 10, quick precept. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Right? So going into what the brother was saying, you know, even going back, where were we? Dundas, Victoria.
Yeah.
You know, and a whole bunch of people coming up against the brothers talking shit, right? All because we're bringing up this word. Why? Because to the world we just look like niggas, right? And that's the problem they had, right? But yeah.
Sure. I got a precept. This is Isaiah 30:8 in the NLT. Now go and write down these words, write them in a book. They will stand until the end of time as a witness that these people are stubborn rebels who refuse to pay attention to the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai's instruction.
Rebels.
Stubborn rebels.
Yeah,
You
that's
have-
worse.
Remember those guys, Ram, back in the day?
Black Ram?
Ram, Rebel Alliance Media.
Oh yeah.
There used to be a thing with Apostle Tahar's camp.
Yeah.
Years
Rebel
ago.
Alliance Media. I remember that.
And they had that was their thing, the acronym RAM.
Yeah.
They had RAM as a picture. And they're trying to say, oh, we're righteous rebels. No, but they were bugged out.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to teach virgin birth. They pretty much went against the teachings of the apostle. The virgin birth, hell. You know, but it was interesting that they picked RAM.
Exactly.
Spirit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Rebel Alliance Media.
That's right, man.
You know, and after even the missiles hit, you're gonna still have rebels.
Exactly.
Right, that's in the book of Ezekiel.
That's
The
right.
purge of the rebels.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It says that they will repent of their sins after all that. So all
That
that.
one's in Revelation.
Yeah,
come.
So the Most High is angry because if you think about what he did with Egypt, sent them out, bring all those types of structure. You're telling me you're going to bring nuclear fire and you're going to cause people to get even more wicked, so they can bring even more judgment.
Wow.
You know, so he's pissed. He's pissed beyond being able to quantify it. We're just going to have to experience it, but the elect are going to be exempt from that judgment.
Verse 10. They tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right.
Yeah, it's because it's always dealing with your downfall. You're not listening. Of course, you don't want to hear the message. I get it. You don't want to hear it because everything, like that one prophet, Micah, to the one king, you want to go to Ramah, and you have the 400 prophets. Like, yeah, go ahead. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do good. We had the one prophet, Micah. He's like, yo, this guy always, every time he has a prophecy, it's bad. You don't want to deal with this guy. He's like, and then the king from Judah is like, let's hear him out. And he was being sarcastic at first, and then the king of Israel was like, yo, just be real, be fake. He's like, well, listen, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go there, you're not gonna come back. And then he got pissed off. So the prophets are always prophesying doom and judgment because of your wickedness.
Doom and gloom.
It says doom and gloom. You know?
No, his brother from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Take a shot, dude. Take a shot.
Real quick, this is 1 Kings 22 and verse 6. NOT, it says, so the king of Israel summoned the prophets, about 400 of them, and asked them, should I go to war against Ramoth Gilead, or should I hold back? They all replied, yes, go right ahead. The Lord will give the king victory. But Jehoshaphat asked, is there not also a prophet of the Lord here? We should ask him the same question. The king of Israel replied to Jehoshaphat, there is one more man who could consult the Lord for us, but I hate him. He never prophesies anything but trouble for me. His name is Micah, the son of Imlah. Jehoshaphat replied, that's not the way a king should talk.
Right.
Let's hear what he has to say. So the king of Israel called one of his officials and said, quick, bring Micah, son of Imlah. It says, King Ahab of Israel and King Jehoshaphat of Judah, dressed in their royal robes, were sitting on thrones at the threshing floor near the gate of Samaria. All of Ahab's prophets were prophesying there in front of them. One of them, Zedekiah, son of Kenanah, made some iron horns and proclaimed, this is what the Lord says, with these horns you will gore the Arameans to death, the Syrians.
Yes, right.
All the other prophets agreed. Yes, they said, go up to Ramoth Gilead and be victorious, for the Lord will give the king victory. Meanwhile, the messenger who went to get Micah said to him, look, all the prophets are promising victory for the king. Be sure that you agree with them and promise success. But Micah replied, as surely as the Lord lives, I will say only what the Lord tells me to say.
True.
When Micah arrived before the king, Ahab asked him, Micah, should we go to war against Ramoth Gilead, or should we hold back? Micah replied sarcastically, yes, go up and be victorious, for the Lord will give the king victory.
You know, Jake, being theatrical. Go ahead, king. Of course you're gonna win. Of course. You smart ass milk. Right?
It says, but the king replied sharply, how many times must I demand that you speak only the truth to me when you speak for the Lord? Then Micah told him in a vision, I saw all Israel scattered on the mountains like sheep without a shepherd. And the Lord said, their master has been killed, send them home in peace. Didn't I tell you, the king of Israel exclaimed to Jehoshaphat, he never prophesies anything but trouble for me.
Right.
Then Micah continued, listen to what the Lord says. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne with all the armies of heaven around him on his right and his left side. Now it's going to go into
the council.
that was the point.
Yeah, that's the point. Go ahead.
Isaiah 30 and 10 in the NOT. They tell the seer, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right. Tell us nice things. Tell us lies. Forget all this gloom and get off your narrow path. Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel.
They don't have to, remember, they don't have to say it in those words. It's spirit. They can say, oh, I know you don't celebrate birthdays, but I celebrate birthdays. You got to respect other people's belief. You know what the hell you're saying? You could do what you want. I'm not saying you don't have to. I'm not saying you don't. You can't celebrate birthday. I'm saying I don't do that.
That's right.
Don't expect a call. Don't expect a gift, and don't call me about why I didn't do it. Right? But that's the spirit they come in.
That's right.
Get off that narrow path. Stop being like that.
Or to be like, you've done it for so long before, so now why not continue to do it?
Yeah.
Not realizing that, when you come into this truth, it comes with, correcting.
That's right.
And you got to correct these bad habits, all these pagan followers, pagan things that we no longer believe in.
100%.
When my mom, she'd be like, oh, well, we always celebrate Christmas. Or,
Summary is here.
Yeah. And like, I just don't understand. Like, we're not done with that shit anymore.
Exactly.
And then that's why we can't wonder why we die. We can't wonder why we're in the position that we're in.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that now that we stop celebrating these things that now the Most High is going to exalt us. No, but we can't be doing the wickedness and then question why we're in the position that we're in, man.
Exactly.
Why people are always destroyed. We're in the position that we're in because we're wicked.
They also had a point where it said, they tell us nice things, and you go in the word nice, it goes in the word foolish.
Yep.
Stupid.
Hey, and we gotta start understanding. Just because, okay, you first come into the truth, it's like let's say you're 25 years old. For 25 years, your house has been dirty. You're not gonna clean your house in a day. It took you 25 years to create that mess. It's gonna take some time to clean up, man. So don't just expect things to go your way right away, man. It doesn't work like that. You gotta be patient, man. You gotta pray out to the Most High for forgiveness.
Oh, because the word nice, and he goes the word stupid, and they're telling you to tell them stupid things.
Yeah, kind.
So you know how stupid that is just in that statement? That's why the Most High said his children are sottish.
Yeah.
Well, that's why people like nice.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Mhm.
that's why you'll never see a good politician, or public servant
Who's
or
honest.
mayor.
Yeah.
They'll never get out of character.
Yeah, kind.
Like they'll never get it. Fuck Trudeau.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Or whatever kind of distraction. They'll always, like Hillary Clinton, people come to her rallies sometimes and they yell things. She'll say something like a witty remark or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
she never
And they'll
breaks
get the
character.
people laughing, but they know how to deal with people. They can't ever be like, fuck you, or
Yeah.
whatever, like bug out. They have to remain in that character. Like Obama, he's perfect. He got groomed.
Gosh.
He was a big flavor man in Chicago. That guy that exposed him, he got killed too.
Larry Sinclair.
Yeah. Right?
No, it was the dread.
There's two of them. There's White and a J.
Larry Sinclair did come out.
Yeah.
But it was, he's the one who confirmed it. He was in a limo with him and he said blah blah blah. He was a dreadhead. He was in Jeremy Wright. He was what is he? He's a pastor.
Yeah.
Reverend.
Hey, but there's lots. Like because remember, he had a lot of them knocked off too.
Yes.
A lot of them
Because,
were knocked off.
I think was it the chef?
Yeah, the chef could drown.
Yeah.
You get to see the way he talks, like the members of this all
Mhm.
program.
Yep.
Everything is just set out. Like this is what you're gonna say. And these guys do both. They do drugs.
Yeah. Because the guy who was in the Matrix, the second one, what's his name, man? The light skinned guy that had the feud between him and Morpheus, and with what was the girl's name again? That Jada Pinkett. That guy, he's the one who you had to have private lessons with Obama, and he taught him how to speak. Because if you listen to him and Obama, how they speak, they sound exactly alike.
He looks like him.
Yeah. So they did acting classes, whatever. with each other.
Oh, the point was, what's it going to?
Smooth things.
Oh, I was gonna say the point was that that's why you always hear the saying, "Nice guys finish last." It's because they're stupid, right? You get these situations where they finish last with these women. It's because you're just being stupid, man. That's really what it is. You know what you have to do, but because whatever reason you can't control your emotions or things like that, you end up being last. It's the same with our people, right? They can't control their emotions. They're very emotional. Right?
They want to love all their other nations and accept themselves.
Yeah.
Or what about salvation for Esau? That's their first thing. They're not even worried about being better than these other nations, man. They want to want to make sure all the nations can make it after everything we've been through. Man. It's not fair, man.
The biggest wicked, you want to be better than the nations at what they do instead of just doing you. You know what I mean?
Try a quick one.
Oh, the brother was done?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit left.
Oh, sorry.
Isaiah 30 and 12 in the NLT. This is the reply of the Holy One of Israel. Because you despise what I tell you and trusted in oppression and lies, calamity will come upon you suddenly. Like a bulging wall that bursts and falls in an instant, it will collapse and come crushing down. You will be smashed like a piece of pottery, shattered so completely that there won't be a piece big enough to carry coals from a fireplace or a little water from a wall. This is what the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, says. The Holy One of Israel says, only in returning to me and resting in me will you be saved. In quietness and confidence is your strength, but you would have none of it. And that was the point.
This is a precept for what you just got. This is 1 Samuel 16:4. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, "Comest thou peaceably?" Right? So when the men of the Lord did come by, people trembled, man. They understood what time it is, right? Because after the elder apostles, right, going all the way back to Abba Bivens and those men, the world started getting a little bit more tighter, right? And then after 9/11, that was it. That was a wrap. And now us being in this truth, we've had a major thing that happened 4 years ago. The world got tighter even more.
Yeah.
And now they're just waiting to drop you know what.
And we're in the new month now.
That's right.
You know, the whole tariffs. So.
That's right. And I did a video where because they deal with astrology, and a lot of major things are going to happen according to their astrological forecasts of certain things that are about to happen. Aquarius and all that.
Oh yeah,
demonic shit.
Tomorrow they're supposed to, I think, do the Groundhog Day.
Yeah, no, that's today. Is it when's
It's supposed to be
Groundhog
the
Day?
second, I think.
It's the second, yeah.
Usually
That's
it's always the
like it.
second.
Yeah, whatever day, yeah. But guess what? We don't have to look out for them because they've been doing a lot.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, then we got the Valentine's Day. That's right. The Lupa calendar.
We got a precept. Nobody has one. Okay, so this is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Just going back to the point that was made with Micah the prophet. The reason why he was righteous and wise to just tell the Lord's message to the king is because he knew the blood would be on his hand, right? So he'd be held responsible for that man's death, for his downfall, right? So that's how a prophet moves, man. They're about the law and the testimony, right? So that's how you know that that's a prophet and that he's a righteous man. But he's just telling you the straight truth and he's coming within the book. So this is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Yahshua. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. And the mouth is going into prophets, right? And Elder Howard brought up a point about how when Samuel came into Bethlehem, I believe, people trembled, man. So they're trembling at the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, because really the prophet, when he speaks, that's really God talking, man. Or Yahweh Bashem Yoshai talking. And that's a very scary thing to hear the voice of the Lord, because when the Lord comes to you, that means you're going to die, most likely. Right?
That's why Adam and Eve hid in the cool of the day when they heard the voice of the Lord, because they knew what they were doing was off. And if you're going to hear a prophecy and you're going off, you know the prophecy is going to be judgment based on what you're doing.
It says, verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. Oh yeah, that guy always says things about me. He always talks about my downfall. That shows you a person who speaks like that, he's in iniquity, because he's in a condition without having the law. When you hear someone say, oh, that guy always trying to correct me, or he's always giving me criticism, that guy's usually wicked, man. You know, a guy like that, he can't take correction. Yeah. So it says, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So it's your fault if you don't tell him. So he's going to die, and then you're going to die, and you're held responsible. So it's better just to tell the truth, because you're going to die anyway. If you're scared to lose your life, you're going to die anyway, because you don't tell the truth. Hey, that's a sin upon you. Now the Lord could kill you, right?
Yeah, and we're in the time of major prophecies as well. So for you guys that are not teaching about the MOTB, you're not teaching about Esau going into captivity. Well, guess what? The blood of the people are going to be on you, because you have a lot of big camps out there where they're not teaching the 100% truth. Right. So guess what? Those men that are going to die, the guys that are following certain camps, well, guess what? The blood is going to be on the leader, man.
Yeah. And these leaders, all they care about is views and follows.
That's it.
And you don't know you're digging your own grave. And the more people that watch you follow, that's more blood.
Yeah, come
on. That's right.
Big trick bag, man.
Yeah.
The deceiving receiver is.
That's right.
That's right.
That just means the Lord's rejecting you. So, right?
Just one more. This last verse. It says, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
Hey, somebody get that word wicked in the etymology.
etymology. So it says wicked, 12th century, says extended from earlier wicked or wick. It says bad, wicked, false.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to hear, false, right? A lot of these guys, they hear that word and they think we're literally coming at them like, yo, you're the wicked. No, but what you're saying is false. You're creating a wicked narrative, man, which is a lie. And we're just correcting you. Sometimes it's actually not that deep, but you guys just don't want to turn away from your foolishness, man. You don't want to turn away from the folly of wordplay, because there's a way to say things to where you know people are gonna stay. Because the way GMS preaches, we don't attract a lot of people. The way we preach, more than likely people are gonna get offended. Right? But when you preach in a certain way, you know there's a way to preach to where you know you're gonna attract people. To where you're kind of giving people a pass. You're not giving them a pass, but you're just preaching in a way where they're just like, okay, well, maybe he's not really against gays. Maybe he's not really against this. You're preaching too soft. You know what I mean? But we don't do that. We cut. We cut and then see if you're gonna heal.
Yeah, exactly. Or bleed out.
Or bleed out.
It's one of the
It's up
other.
to you, man.
Yeah, you're gonna bleed out or you're gonna be healed.
Yes, dealing with
That's what we do.
Yes,
So we do, man.
To
Go ahead.
Okay, First Peter 4:16 NLT. But it is no shame to suffer for being a Christian. Praise Yahweh, Bashir Shai, for the privilege of being called by his name. For the time has come for judgment, and it must begin with Yahweh Bashir Shai's household. And if judgment begins with us, what terrible fate awaits those who have never obeyed Yahweh Bashir Shai's good news?
That's terrifying enough, because what he's saying is we can't really imagine it. People are gonna die in horrible ways, but he says he's gonna start at his house. So just like Yahweh Shai in his camp, he had agents. Most High has agents in his church, and he's gonna beat them up. And that was the spirit that was on, I think, certain apostles and elders that were going into that this week or last week about agents in the camp. That's always been coming out. But the Most High is going to start with his own house.
Verse 18. And also, if the righteous are barely saved, what will happen to the godless sinners? Right. So everyone's talking about the people that don't want to come in, they don't want to listen, they're getting offended by GMS, by the way they preach, by the way they look, all these things, and you're looking at the outward appearance, right? You're getting caught up in your emotions, right? You should be looking at, one thing I learned when I was playing sports, like I didn't get caught up because some in sports it's like the coach will bring you in the front and cut you in front of everybody. What'd you do on this play? You get embarrassed and things like that, but you can't get caught up with what the coach is saying. You got to look at or how he's saying it. Sorry, you have to focus on what he's saying, the message, what he's saying, because this can help you get better, right? If you get too caught up in your emotions, then you're missing the message. Like, oh, I hate this guy, man. I don't like the way he's bringing up. Now you're missing what he's trying to tell you. He's here to coach you, right? He's here to make you better. So these people get caught up in like the fact of how we preach, but really, if you really want to get better, you're gonna get better. You're gonna sit there and listen. You're gonna take it. You're gonna take the punches. You're gonna take the blows. And that's really if you're a follower of Yahweh Shai at the end of the day, because it's gonna sift people out. So it's a good thing, even if you're on your channels, you got a lot of people following. It's not a bad thing. You're just sifting people out, right? It's not for everybody. It's only for the elect, and that's a small number.
And the reason why, because remember, 144,000 in a world full of billions of people, it's going to be impossible to get thousands of views. That won't even really make sense. Even when you do add up the 1/3, right? Because remember, a lot of the 1/3 are not going to be fervent. You know what I mean? No. Some of them are just going to be people who did nice things. Some of them are just going to be family. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to be dedicated. No.
They don't got
The 1/3 are not dedicated like that. Like they're just sitting there waiting for brothers to drop videos. They're just doing their thing, man. But they might just be a little righteous.
True.
Yeah, some people are going to be woken up in the last hour, so your videos are not going to get crazy views. It doesn't make sense for you to get crazy views because the majority of them are not going to be righteous. Anyway.
Exactly. So even if you get majority of them, majority
It's a waste.
And on that,
That's the last one. So it says, so if you are suffering in a manner that pleases Yahweh Shem Shai, keep on doing what is right and trust your lives to the power who created you, for he will never fail you.
I got this real quick. This is Galatians 1 and 10. Going into the part said about us, the prophet, the answer to the prophet is to say what the Most High, as Micah said, I will only say what the Most High tells me to say. So Galatians 1 and 10, for do I now persuade men, or Yahweh, Hashem Shai? Or do I seek to please men, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be a servant of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So, like, honestly, in the day, it doesn't matter if someone gets upset. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if a brother gets upset when you're talking the truth. That doesn't matter. You might feel bad because you genuinely like the brother, but yeah, in the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if people get upset because you know what? A lot of people overlook the simple fact that if these people see a pet, right, and he gets caught, and he's ashamed, they're gonna say you should be ashamed of yourself. Look what you did. But when we tell you you're going off, this is shame unto sin, this is shame unto glory. If you're being corrected, you should feel a little shame. Or else, where's the awareness?
Hey, listen, back in the day, I could see how certain brothers could, not really be as fervent. But we're in 2025 right now, man. This is not a joke, man. This is not, that's what I'm saying. If you can't see it right now, well, guess what?
It's not for you.
It's not for you.
Most
Yeah.
likely it's not for you.
Certain people just need to just bow out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Throw in the towel.
Yeah.
It ain't for you.
That's right. That's right. Get out before the deck gets. You already have a deck.
Yeah.
Get out before it gets
Kind.
secret.
2025, there's certain things that we shouldn't even have to say. It's scary times we're living in, man. It's serious.
That's it on that. I got something else. Oh my God.
Yeah, bring it up, brother.
Okay, comment. You got something?
Yeah, it was basically what Barzal was going into. Just reading from the KJV. This is Zephaniah 3 and 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that altered, and gather her that was driven out.
Hey, and those scriptures are not even hidden. Like when you first come into the truth. When you first come into the truth, those scriptures about salvation, they hit nice. But now that we're in the time of destruction, bro, it's scary. It's scary, man. Because we got to make it through the destruction to get to salvation. You know what I mean? When you just come into this truth, you hear salvation, the kingdom, chariots, this is amazing. But now when you're seasoned, right, you got to make it through the destruction first. And the destruction ain't going to be no cakewalk.
Yeah, it's a narrow path.
It's a narrow path.
Fire and water on both sides. One of each on each side.
That's right. You know, the brothers don't really even talk about multiple women in the kingdom. Remember how that was a thing?
Oh my God.
Isaiah 4:1. Isaiah 4:1.
We would walk down the street and be like, yep, I claim her. I claim her.
her.
You remember those?
That's right. Yeah.
I claim that bitch.
That's right. But they can't claim her.
Yeah. That's right. You're committing adultery. That's spiritual adultery.
That spirit hasn't really came on anymore because like what you said, like men that are seasoned.
Yeah, we're getting serious, man.
Yeah, we know that, that's a byproduct of life.
Hey, like a boxer?
Yeah.
When a boxer is in training mode,
Yeah.
you give a shit about that woman, man.
That's right. And you go to war, and you're not supposed to pop your women. So we're in war right now. We're not like that spirit's not out. Really, you should be thinking about, you should be in the spirit of judging every single thing, starting with yourself and rulership. Because you're upset that these people are getting more prideful while we're suffering. It's fine because we know it's for reward. But still, you should, the scripture saying in GNT, I'll bring it out later, that you should intensely hate wickedness. Obsessively hate wickedness.
Oh, like Lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's right. That shit was in his face. It's in our face.
Yeah, it's in our face even
You
worse.
go on the phone and.
Yeah, but the one that you brothers just posted pissed me off because the him looked like a woman.
Yeah.
And then I see the video and I never took it in. And then when I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is a man.
Yeah, man.
But she's like, oh, I had to put the M.
Yes, on her license.
No, on her passport.
Passport,
yeah.
I seen that. I thought it was a woman too.
I thought it was a woman.
What for you?
What I thought I was going to be on my phone.
Scary.
You can't trust anything. That's why that spirit.
I'm going in hard.
Let the Lord bring a woman to you.
Spirit was
Just
on
out there
the
looking
team.
for it. You never know what you find. That on that?
No, there's
Heavy sorcery, man.
Oh, what I wanted to say too, because you said you get to that spirit about quick hindering from being with a woman, like a perfect example is the movie Book of Eli. Like when Samara was trying to get on him, said about what's on the house. He's like,
She wasn't just trying to get, she was running him down.
yeah, she ran down, and then he trapped her in the mine.
Yeah.
That had the water reservoirs. So,
Eyes in the world.
No, the movie Book of Eli.
yeah,
And then didn't he use her too? He used her at a point
yeah.
to trap up the people?
Yes.
Yeah. But that's when he came out of the thing, and she said, "Oh, I know where there's the water."
Yeah,
He
yeah,
used her, and then someone was sleeping outside of the thing that Carnegie owned.
Yes.
So
She was trapped inside or something.
no, he put her in there, but he got the water because she told him about it because he didn't want to deal with it.
But they showed you in that movie though what women are used for in the first scene.
Yeah.
She came out, she's like, oh, but no.
Yes.
And you already knew it was like in the show Primeval.
Yeah,
That little girl.
the little
Yeah.
girl did that.
Yep.
And she got trapped up by those weirdos. Cannibals, right?
Then she got gun butt because they're so stupid. And then she got raped.
Yeah.
Grape.
Wasn't that in the Rollers? There was some movie like that. Some girls, somebody screaming.
Yeah, that happened in the road.
Yeah, somebody screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a sound bit or some shit or
Oh, let me go help.
Yeah.
Let me go help.
It's all on the house.
Hey, that's why. Hey, it's funny.
It's animals.
Yeah, it's funny right now, but that's why the brothers are wondering why the Most High is putting a heavy spirit on us. Some of you probably saying, "Damn, why are we so cutthroat?" Because it's to prepare you for those days, man. Because you're gonna hear worse. That's a woman. What are you gonna do when you hear a kid scream, man? You run out like Superman. No, don't let me go. I gotta help.
In the movie it was a toy, it was a baby, and had that.
Yes.
Like a crying baby.
I gotta go help.
And then when she came, she seemed to go, it's a fucking toy.
Let me go.
That's when people turn into animals.
Yeah.
Lawlessness.
It wasn't that the movie, the Book of Eli? Denzel and the woman.
Yeah.
And the girl was shopping cart.
Yes.
She wanted to help, and Denzel was like, no.
Yeah,
He-
the past.
It's
Tell the past.
past.
Yeah.
He's like, don't do
Yeah. It's not your problem.
That part you're talking about is when he was on the bridge.
On the bridge.
Those bikers came and they
Mhm.
shot the guy. They
Yeah.
shot the guy and then they raped the bitch. He's like,
Mhm.
just keep going.
Keep going.
It has nothing to do with it. It's not your problem.
Zephaniah 3 and 19. Sorry. So, behold, at this time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
Yeah, we're not worried about that right now, man. We're worried about the downfall of our enemies. We're worried about the implementation of the MOTB, which is going to bring great death and calamity upon the world, man. Right? The kingdom is going to come no matter what. None of us can stop the rulership of Yahushua because it's Yahushua. Who the hell is going to stop him from reigning over the world? Nobody. He's already done it. He's already won.
And
It's
he
just-
tells you
Mhm.
that he's Alpha and Omega, King of Kings, and he took the crowns off of these the rulers
That's right.
that are ruling actually in this time.
Right now. Khan. Right now. He's just waiting for his brothers.
That's right.
They got to go through what he went through.
Yeah.
He already made it. He's on the other side, like the dream the brother had.
Yeah.
Right? He's on the other side. Where are you guys? It's
Yeah.
taking so long. No, I'm joking.
Well, he said in the dream, he's like the spirit that was coming out of the house was like, you know, when someone special is coming over here, you want to make sure everything's right.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's like, yo, make sure everything's right for my brother. Like, make sure he comes here.
Yeah.
So Yahushua is waiting there like, I can't wait. Just like us down here. Just like us down here.
Hey, but I love those movies, right? Like those medieval time movies. When you have a king coming or a ruler coming, they got to get ready. The whole community. You know, it's a big thing.
Yeah, he showed you that in the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, come.
Right?
All right. That's it.
Yeah.
This is Acts 14:22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
That's right.
In the NLT, it says, where they strengthen the believers, they encourage them to continue in the faith, reminding them.
When you read that, I think of where the scripture says, if your right eye offend you, pluck it up. Like you gotta make it no matter what, man.
That's right. Exactly.
Even if you're mean, because it said that you're mean, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
It's more profitable than that member to be cast in the fire than the whole body.
That's right. Shalom.
It says that they encourage them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of the Most High.
That's right. Right. That's what the elders, the elders of your camps are preparing you for, man. That's what you're preparing you for. We're not preparing for the kingdom. We're not preparing for that. That's the easy part. That's the part where you made it. You got new bodies. You don't got to worry about nothing no more because you're perfect. You got to make it do this, man. Shit.
When you get the word,
And that takes mental fortitude.
Tribulation. The word tribulation.
Strong's G 2347. Philipsis.
Which means a pressing together, pressure, metaphor, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. In the Strong's, it says afflicted, anguish, burden, and then the Edom, to press as grapes, press hard upon, in compressed weight, press as grapes. Metaphor to trouble, afflict, distress.
No, but that's us. We're gonna be pressed.
No, for sure. I'm saying that
for
because
sure.
Gethsemane.
Yeah, the oil.
Yeah, he was the oil being pressed.
Yeah, Khan.
So we're following that same example.
To crowd.
The crowd?
Well, of course, exactly, exactly,
Just
man.
said, the world is
Yo,
tightening. The world is tightening. So everything is,
it's not just tightening, bro.
pressing.
A lot of you brothers that are in this thing, you only know a time of CCTV. I remember a time before all of those stuff. I remember a time before cameras. You know how free people were? People were free. People did crime like it was nothing. There's serial killers out here that never got caught before. But brothers saying we're in a time right now where everything, you can't make it down the street without being on 10 cameras. They know your every step, every move you make.
That's right. You're a person of interest.
Our phones are being pinged right now. They know we're all together. Remember during the time, police could just show up to the house right now and be like, yes, we know there's a gathering going on right now, just off of your phone. The phone alone can tell them, hey, there's too much people gathered in one house.
That's true. You know, it's funny you mentioned that because earlier when driving down to the house there, I noticed on every major intersection there's always a camera.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
now it's changed. It's got even like more oppressive. You even go on these like little streets that I normally go on to go about my day just to avoid those cameras. Now there's cameras there.
That's right.
So I'm like, damn, I can't even do anything. Can't even drive fast.
I just
do nothing.
installed new cameras in Detroit highway. AI cameras. So you can look in the camera in the car.
Wow.
So if you're doing something with your phone, if your seatbelts, they find it's like 400. You put it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put it there.
Howard.
Yeah.
They know that. So when you're on the highway and you're driving and there's traffic, they know that through your phone because so many people are on the highway with their phones. So they know that's a lot of people are in that area.
That's why every phone has GPS.
We remember a time when police had to do work.
Yeah, exactly.
They had to do surveillance.
Yeah.
They had to stake you out.
Yeah.
You know, wiretaps.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, now it's all it's immediate information. They don't have to sit outside 2 blocks down with a sound radar pointed at your house and doing intel.
No, but
With a flower bed.
Right. Hey, even just going off of what you said, they keep arresting the guy top 5 because he's telling on himself.
Right.
They post the crime on social media. And the cops.
Yeah.
The cops are like, thanks. They admit to it. Sometimes they do it on the social media. Cops are like, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
We say great
Yeah, we say great shit.
See my wickedness.
Yeah.
what was his last video? He's on the Don Valley, and one of his homies was getting arrested. He's like, yo, we beat murder beefs over here
Idiots.
on social media.
Idiots.
Who I trust in this guy, bro?
Babylon, that's Nimrod.
Babylonian and Babylon.
Yeah, yeah.
So that shows you that, we're gonna have to be really obedient in spirit, like going into the AI surveillance.
They had the thing in the coffee shop in China.
Exactly.
They're looking
Yeah.
at the girls, they're like, oh, how many did she do?
Mhm.
Susie did
Mhm.
this.
Yes.
I mean,
Your work,
What's your work
production?
Not how you produce. That's right.
How many breaks you take?
So you're gonna have to be, we're gonna have to be a lot more obedient in the spirit. Some of us get away with texting and driving right now. In that time, you can't do that.
No way.
And if you do it, guess what? You only have yourself to blame because we have this truth. So in like little movements like that, we're gonna have to be. It's gonna be so tight. Like,
Yes.
Not even an inch of your foot can go left or right.
That's right.
You're just.
That's right.
Because you have to be so obedient.
That's right.
Even in the things that we're going through in our own personal lives, it's funny. I've been eating my boss. In my new job, I was only been there for 6 months. The first 3 months, there was no boss. There was just trainers. So kind of freelance was nice. This Edomite boss came in and his eyes were on me all the time. This minute, that minute, this thing, that thing. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And then I was cursing him out in my mind, and a brother did a video about the way we should walk. I forgot the brother's name, but the way we should walk. And it was just like, yo, like this man is sent by Satan to keep you in check. Because you need to be tight. You can't have the mentality that, oh, for example, my trainer, if my client says, I have an 8 o'clock client, and he's like, I'm not showing up, I can't come. And it's only 1 hour. I'm not gonna come in because I'm not gonna get paid for it. But this guy's like, you have to come in, you have to do something at the gym, you have to, what the hell is this? So you have to seem productive. But and Yahweh Shai is like, yo, you have to do that. How do you know I didn't have to do that? Even though you might think it's nonsense, it adds to something in the future. The discipline. So every day it's getting tighter so that we have to be blameless. He can't be able to say, hey, he can't be able to blame me for my lack of discipline. True. That's a shameful thing because I know the truth.
So those are all the AI miracles we're going into. Precept came out earlier, 3 unclean spirits like frogs, leaked out like frogs. But I just wanted to say real quick, the guy that's in power now in so-called Congress down there, he said this, the biometric exit entry visa tracking system will be on land, sea, and air, and you will do it. You will get it, and you have to obey it. So that AI is out of control. Hey, but we like that.
Yeah, but
we like that.
he's working with all the technology companies. Yeah, he's not playing right now.
Hey,
Well, you're gonna see play out like you said.
and all this AI governance, like I forgot what video I was watching, but this Edomite was going into how, for instance, because the AI is not like the whole, it's all about surveillance and power. They don't care about money anymore because they spend it. They don't care about that. So if you only allow a certain amount of coffee, they have like your kettle is cooked up to the AI thing. So your kettle's not going to start because you ran out of your options for coffee. Some brothers are addicted to coffee. You're gonna bug out and you get upset. You know what I mean?
You might get limit for the money.
Exactly. But you're not used to having to dial down your vices. You go with
Steven, that happened in a movie of Idol, right?
Yeah, so little things like
watched it.
no, I haven't watched it yet. Little things like that
find out.
are things to think about. When the Lord puts you in a snare where you're
That's
with
why,
us.
that's why the spirits on the apostles to push that stoic life.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's better to be in a stoic mindset,
Yeah.
to go without, and now brother shouldn't even be in clubs.
Oh, yeah.
No, that spirit should be long gone. You used to have that spirit.
Oh yeah.
That spirit should be long gone.
That's right.
I want that's called the Internet of Things when everything is connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Apostle I brought that out years ago.
Right.
And then they also have the Internet of Bodies connect every person together.
Yes. Your fridge, let's say, you underhandedly got food that you didn't have access to. Your fridge is gonna know what's in it. So let's say you put that underhanded meat or whatever you got. Your fridge is gonna detect something that you're not supposed to have, and you're gonna have to be knocking the door. So your own devices in your house are gonna rat you because AI is Esau's angels. Those are his angels.
So when you go to these hotels, these resorts. They have fridge inside your room.
Yeah.
And if you take out a beer, that gets charged to you when you leave. And they know it's gone because the fridge tell them it's gone.
There you
So
go.
the same thing you're saying,
There you go.
it's actually there.
Yeah, kind of that even.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing at Amazon Go. These Amazon stores are doing the
That's
exact
right.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just take stuff and walk out and it just charges to you.
Yeah.
Right? There's a store in the mall, it's a Japanese store, a Chinese store. They got some cheap stuff. When you go there, the stuff you have, there's no cashier. You just put it in,
Uniglow?
yeah, Uniglow. You just put it in the bin.
Yeah.
And it knows what's in the bin.
Yes. It's actually a pretty good store.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
they
all
got some nice
digitized,
stuff.
but it's actually a really good store.
Yeah, everything's digitized, man. When you put it in the bin, if you got 5 stuff, you put 5 stuff in the bin, everything comes up on the screen.
Yeah.
You don't gotta scan nothing.
Yeah, they have those smart shopping carts.
Yes.
Certain grocery stores in America.
Yeah.
You put it in, it shows you the price. And
Whole
everything.
Foods.
Yeah, they have some good products there.
I got a precept. This is Matthew's 21, since brothers are going into production.
Right.
You know, 21 and 33 NOT. It says now this is how Shai read letter. Now listen to another story. A certain landowner planted a vineyard, built a wall around it, dug a pit for pressing out the grape juice, and built a lookout tower. Then he leased the vineyard to tenant farmers and moved to another country. At the time of the great harvest, he sent his servants to collect his share of the crop. But the farmers grabbed his servants, beat one, killed one, and stoned another. So the landowner sent a larger number of the servants to collect for him, but the results were the same. Finally, the owner sent his son, thinking surely they would respect my son. But when the tenant farmers saw his son coming, they said to one another, "Here comes the heir to this estate." It says, "Come on, let's kill him and get the estate for ourselves." So they grabbed him and dragged him out of the vineyard and murdered him. When the owner of the vineyard returns, Yahushua asks, "What do you think you will do to those farmers?" The religious leaders replied, "He will put the wicked man to a horrible death and lease the vineyard to others who will give him the share of the crop after each harvest." Then Yahushua asked them, "Didn't you ever read this in the scriptures? The stone that the builders rejected has now become the cornerstone. This is the Lord's doing, and it is wonderful to see. I told you the kingdom of heaven will be taken away from you and given to a nation that will produce the proper fruit. Anyone who stumbles over that stone will be broken to pieces, and it will crush anyone it falls on." When the leading priests and Pharisees heard this parable, they realized he was telling the story against them. They were the wicked farmers. They wanted to arrest him, but were afraid of the crowds who considered Yahushua to be a prophet. Yeah, that was
I got this real quick. This is Colossians 4 and 5. It says, "Walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time." Right? So that's as simple as that. You know, walking in wisdom is putting the fear of the Lord at the forefront of your mind. You know, so even if it might seem like this is like, you know, Esau says, you know, it's just a white lie. Even if it seems like it's something small, you know, you got to take it seriously, even more so now than before. The scriptures say, "Be not ignorant of anything small or great," because everything is going to count. You know, it says, "Let your speech be always with grace." Yeah, so people don't have to know what you're thinking, especially in the world. You don't always have to, you know, graceful, in and out, boom. You don't have to meet new people, you know, all that nonsense. It says, "Seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man." So we should know how to reply against our enemy in certain situations, because you're in the spirit of wisdom, you're in the spirit of fear of the Lord, of being obedient to the Lord. You know, and a lot of you that basically slighted this grace period, you're gonna let your emotions dictate your actions, your movement. That's gonna lead you to death. A horrible death too. It's not gonna be quick. The Most High's pissed off. That's it on that.
That's true. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 67. It says, "Behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him. leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever, so shall Yahweh lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach.
Right, so derision, confused, reproach, because you might have went 2 days without eating. You saw him, have the meal because you're a resistance to his society. And he has a meal, but you don't know what's in that meal. Like in Snowpiercer, I think they were eating those blobs, and then you find out in the movie it's a bunch of bugs and bullshit. And they, some of those people were born at the back of the train, so to them it was just food. But it's the same thing. Most High can put you in a position where you're gonna be without for a bit, and then that test is gonna come, and you're gonna have to make a decision out of yes or no. And then you're gonna be left in derision if you were never set up to be a elect, and obviously if you ever took advantage of his grace period.
And they that consent unto him shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, Yahweh.
Get the word insurrection.
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then
because you don't have the MOTB. Are you gonna have a house if you don't have the MOTB? You can't have nothing. You're not taking part of their business. You're not a part of that traffic.
Makes you what do they call it? Legal.
You're definitely gonna be in the legal all the time.
They don't want ownership of regular people, so especially the people without the MOTB.
You can't.
They want the smart city.
Smart cities,
Everything
yeah.
is 15 minutes within walking distance.
That's right.
They don't even need a car.
Sure.
They don't want you to have a car.
Nope.
So like you always bring up communism, but it's even more fascism.
It is.
So
Yeah.
ownership is gone.
Done. What do you say? And they shall love it? What did you say?
You should have nothing.
Shall have nothing.
Yeah.
Shall have nothing.
So nothing.
And be happy. It's true.
And it's true, it's gonna be convenient. Because some of these smart cities, you can track your steps. Esau, he wants you to think you're transitioning into a more glorified state that you're in. So now we wear Fitbits, which is above the skin surveillance.
Hey, but guess what? Like when we were in school, right? I remember when everything transitioned to uniform. Now wearing a uniform, there's a lot of benefits to a uniform. You know what I mean? Especially if you're poor. But here's what happened: the people that are in that mindset of a uniform, they don't have a mindset of themselves, right? So that's what the MOTB is, right? You don't have a mindset of yourself. You put on that identity, right? That's the thing with a uniform. You put on an identity. We're not supposed to put on an identity of the wicked, man.
That's right.
But in school, a lot of people who wear uniforms, they used to be proud, right? They used to boast.
Oh yeah, yeah, hell yeah.
I'm somebody now.
Yeah. So this is what's gonna happen when MOTB comes out. A lot of people are gonna boast and be like, yo, I got this thing implanted in me. You know what I'm saying? Open my door, my car doors. I'll pay for everything. I don't have to carry a phone. I don't have to carry a key. So they're gonna
can detect cancer.
Yeah.
They're gonna think they're superhumans. I can do this. Like if I jump from this height, I don't feel any impact. This guy, they're gonna think they're doing good.
Yeah, but just like when you didn't get the jump shot, when you go places and people say, are you one or double? And you're like, I'm none. You're none?
Yeah, but even the option is one or double.
That's how you know that's a precursor, man. That's how you know that's a precursor to that MOTB.
The scriptures say, therefore trust in the shadow of Egypt shall be your confusion. Right? We saw what the serpent is. Everyone trusted in it. And now all kinds of stories are coming out of people being deleted. Deleting from it.
Yep. And they put your deletion under something else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's all they did. That's how you know those medical examiners and all those people, they're paid off. They're a bunch of liars.
The cause of death on the certificate.
Yes.
It had to be something.
Not causes, my
Yes.
grand nephew.
But during the pandemic, they used to, when you die from anything, it would be
Car
considered
crash.
that.
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite now. Now it's the opposite.
You got shot?
Yeah.
Well, because the doctors get paid.
Oh, yeah.
That's how Esau bribes people.
Yeah, that's why they had it every day on TV 24 today. 200 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
50 people were affected today, and every day.
Every
That's
day.
like journalism, right?
And we project by the end of the month.
That's fear.
Yeah.
They push to keep it.
And notice how in that whole thing they didn't even show who these people were.
Never.
It's just you're just going.
And a lot of those news clips were just on repeat.
Yeah.
You were watching
We
the
should
same
have
thing
open,
daily.
I don't even know if
business.
that's true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you know what? And we see this before it even came from watching that movie.
Contagion?
Yeah, Contagion. The whole thing happened. And it's like it was. I mean, like if you go back and watch the movie Contagion, and then you like analyze.
People saying, stop the spread. Stay
Yes. Yes.
I remember it was like,
Yes.
I remember it was like April, May.
Yeah.
I could go outside for a walk. And nobody's out because they're like, "Yo, stay home."
Do you remember the roads? Yo, we were flying on the roads.
Gas prices were cheap.
Yo, bro. 40 cents. Right?
Yeah. That low.
45.
That's crazy.
Good time.
In the midst of a pandemic.
Con.
Never let a good crisis
Go to waste.
That's right.
I remember on the news, there's a helicopter view, aerial view in Italy. And there's a number on the screen, 900 mass graves. And there's bulldozers digging out these holes, and they have all these body bags. And I was like, look at this propaganda machine, bro. You know, 900 plus deaths. And they're just throwing these, you know, like the elder said, you never saw who or anything. They're just throwing in props.
Yeah.
Right?
And then all you people, your response was "fuck 2020."
Yeah.
Fuck 2020. I want the restaurants back.
Yep.
Yep. That's all you cared about.
Yeah.
Like in that PSYOP movie, Blink Twice.
Yep.
Right? The guy just kept saying, "Are you having a good time?" She's being traumatized. That's a serious movie. Man. I don't know if it was. You guys watched it, right? That's a serious
Yeah, the
movie.
one with
Channing
there.
Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum and the
You
director
know, the
was.
director was Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, so Kravitz done it.
With an Amalekite.
Yeah.
Mexico was Amalekite.
Yeah, it's a serious movie.
So that's why he said you will own nothing and be happy because you're gonna have these distractions, these dopamine rushes, you know, like those VR sets.
Yes.
They show those pictures of the guy's in the tin box.
Yes.
And he has a VR set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Too busy being happy, huh?
And there was a trainer that was, he was training his client. He had a whole VR set. And he's working out training his client. He's looking around. He's like, so when next time I get you in, let me check my schedule. I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, yo,
Really?
Yeah, I'm just questioning, like, what do you see? He's like, I see whatever I want to see.
It's being assimilated.
So imagine that when you got the thing
Yeah.
and the 5G set up.
Damn.
Maybe even the 6G.
You cook.
You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to interact with certain
Yeah.
smart devices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, like a hologram.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the miracle. That's part of the miracle. Because
That's right. Yeah.
the meta classes.
And that's, you see what they did with that? They just walk around with the meta and they're able to tell who you are. It's your name, your address, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Serious, man. Our information is out there, man.
Yeah.
That's why these
Been doing
companies,
biometrics for years.
that's what these companies are harvesting information, man. Harvesting.
And then they magically leak. Oh, we got hacked.
Yeah, we got hacked. Okay. You sold it.
Yeah, many of those big companies, because FedEx is one of them. Like they take people's license plates, like from their vehicles that drive out on the road. It's taking pictures of other people's license plates, like from the front to the back and all of that. Hive mind.
And these Google glasses, man, you know, the profits, they're gonna look, average Joe Blows break into people, gonna look at you, see your face come up, cat videos come up, see you in garments, they're like, oh, okay.
They're gonna have a bolo out for you,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
which is your unwanted list.
So Isaiah 9:16 in NLT, for the leaders of the people have misled them. They have led them down to the path of destruction. And that's what all this convenience is all about. I think you mentioned it, the paved road to convenience, or to wicked, the road to wickedness is smooth. Yeah, it's a smooth paved road. Right? So it says that that is why the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, takes no pleasure in the young men and shows no mercy on the widows and orphans. That's why we were saying earlier, a lot of you leaders are gonna have a lot of blood on your hands, because you've led these people astray, and the Most High is now not gonna have mercy on them. If they're not the elect, He's gonna destroy them, and that's the blood that you're gonna have to deal with. So it says, for they are all wicked hypocrites, and they all speak foolishness. But even then, the Lord Yahweh's anger will not be satisfied. His fist is still poised, ready to strike. You know?
Yeah, because the scripture says, we can't do none, none we could do. Nothing at all, right? We're gonna have kids that are gonna die, women are gonna die, and it's just a part of the judgment. It's not even about death anymore, because whoever dies moving forward is just slated for death. We're starting to understand death and destruction more. It's all righteous, man.
That's right.
It is what it is.
You can't sacrifice if you don't understand death.
Yeah, kind.
You have to understand that's actually proper for your sacrifice.
Because you'll get emotional.
Exactly.
Like what's his name? Like Luke Skywalker. Right? When his woman died.
Oh yeah.
Anakin.
Anakin. He was pissed.
Yeah.
But Yoda tried to let him know, or Judah told him, listen, death is a part of life. You know, but he was trying to hold on to his woman because he lost his mom as well.
Right.
And then when he had that dream of his woman dying in childbirth, he bought them out.
Yeah.
That's how that senator got to Palpatine.
Yeah, Palpatine got to him that way.
It's like there's knowledge out there from the Sith.
Yeah.
It's
The
like-
dark
it's like-
side.
it's like they can even stop the ones you love
From dying. Yo, caught him. Yeah. Yo, that's a serpent. That's serpent knowledge.
Which he was right. Which he's right when you go into the last movie that came out, because he was still alive. He was using Sith technology to keep him alive the whole time.
Yeah,
He wasn't lying,
Yeah.
but he was lying at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
Naturally died.
Yeah, that's it.
That was Elon Musk. He's using that Neuralink.
I'll finish it up. It says verse 18, for wickedness burneth as a fire. This is the King James. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle in thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lift upon smoke. Through the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of fire. No man shall
Yeah, because
spare.
the scripture says that. No, what is it? Before them, the Garden of Eden, and then behind them,
Desolate wilderness.
desolate wilderness, right? The missiles is gonna bring desolate wilderness.
That's right. Through the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as fuel of the fire. No
That's
man
right.
shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch one on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Yep, that's it.
Can I bring this up quick?
So cannibalism coming back?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Going into the the MOTB because of witchcraft. This is the book of Samuel 15 and 22, the NLT. It reads, but Samuel replied, what is more pleasing to the Lord Yahweh, your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to his voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifices, and submission is better than offerings the fat of rams. Here's the point. 22. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as a buzz of worship idols. So because you have rejected the command of the Lord Yahweh, he has a right to you as a king. So in that day, when you take the MOTB, the Lord is going to reject you, right?
That's right. That's right, because you rejected him.
That's right.
Yeah, you rejected him. You're a whore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a bitch after she laid with another man.
That's right.
Yeah, if you're with me and you go lay with another man, I don't want you. Right? Same thing with the Most High.
That's right.
If you go and get popped by this MOTB, insert this unrighteous device in you, the Most High don't have nothing to do with you, right?
That's right. I want you back. Yeah.
You're being branded by the system.
Yeah, that's right.
You're part of the board.
Yeah, that's right.
Hive mind. So you're all thinking alike in wickedness.
Yeah, kind.
Because that's what it's all about, being programmed. Right? Programmed with more wickedness, you know, and the pride. Right? Oh, goodness, it's like it's gonna be a thing of, oh, you don't have it? Yeah, I get it. I'm juiced in.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
And it's just going to show. And it's just going to show you how weak people are for this fake ass world. Because remember, the money that we already have in our pocket is already fake. So to move over to the MOTB, this society is just going to get more fake. We're literally just playing Monopoly. None of us are living real lives. So to even take that just means everything is just going to be more fake. Because by the time the MOTB comes in, there will be no more earning money.
Exactly.
That's done with.
Exactly.
They're just going to be giving you money based upon whatever that it is. That's right.
And it's not money, it's a point system.
It's just a fucking point
You get
system, man.
2,000 a month, it's just that's your
Why would I want to live?
It's like in video games, credit.
Con, as a man, why would you want to live like that? You gotta dance and you just like these guys on TikTok. On TikTok, you have people doing all types of dumb shit. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for that. You know, just like back in the day, you have the girls that did the cam girls. You know cam girls?
Yeah.
They're on camera playing with their pussy and all that dumb shit just for $1. That's cute. I'm not a cam girl.
And that's why they have these people bugging out in the States now, because it's banned.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. They're gone. Yeah.
This is my life.
Yeah, kind of my livelihood.
Well, you gotta understand how people behave when a new phone comes out. Big lineups.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be the same with MOTV.
Yeah, just like when that nigga 2 Chainz had to get the first robot from Elon Musk. You don't know what you're bringing into your house. But didn't they say that shit is a demon?
Yeah.
You just brought a demon into your house, man.
Yeah.
Around your children. That's gonna be studying you 24/7.
AI is a portal.
AI is a portal.
TV
They give
show.
it
Black Mirror.
And a form of idolatry.
Black Mirror.
It's gonna be like studying the movements of Jake and how Jake is, you know, and sending it back to Elon, and then to have a plan to further oppress Israelites.
That's
Jake,
right.
you know.
That's right.
And if you take it in, it's like this is like the first idol that actually you can talk to and he talks back to you. These people are juiced in.
Create your AI girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
That's a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This the perfect.
To the point you kill yourself.
your demon is gonna be personalized just for you.
Oh, and they sell it to you so good too, because they'll be like, oh yeah, she doesn't talk back, she doesn't say no, all of these type of dumb shit when they're the ones that ruin women. Women were already good. You're the ones that ruin women, you fucking dumb. Why the fuck would I want an AI bitch when these women were in order?
So
That's why people buy these things. They bought these things because they've destroyed society so much. Because if society was still intact, people would be like, AI, the fuck I want that for? I'm going home to my wife. But most people are lonely. Most people are single. They don't know how to interact. So AI is normal.
That's right. That's right.
I got a quick one. I don't know if it came out. Isaiah 19:14 came out.
No, bring it up. Even if
Real
it did.
quick. Yeah, so it says, right, what we're going into right now, and the precept came out, right, show us more light on it in regards to Revelation 16:14, 15. So it says here, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit, right? Going back into that wicked that you brought up, wicked spirit. So that's what this is. And you see the demons that are playing hardcore over time.
And pervert means to turn away.
That's right. Yeah, that's ultimately it, because you have that spirit to do. And it says, in the midst thereof, they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. Every work thereof.
Hey, who posted the one about them building Baphomet?
Mayan did it.
Yeah, that's a perverse spirit,
Yeah,
man. That's a perverse spirit. Because if you build that, you're promoting not just witchcraft, you're also promoting PDF files.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Because if you're gonna build it, you should. Usually, the ones that they build are the ones with the little children
Yeah,
on the side.
yeah. That's true. Yeah. This place is front of the wicked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one is Sabrina, right?
Yeah.
Sabrina.
The new Sabrina, the teenage, the new one. That's actually good. They went into some heavy witchcraft in that one, and they had us watching that shit from we were kids.
Yes.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I used to watch Bewitched.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah, these people are real witches in real life.
I used to watch it like that, man. Or when I was a kid, we used to watch Teenage Wolf. What was that one?
Yeah, Teenage Wolf.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teenage Wolf.
Something like
Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf or
So I can't
The
remember.
newer
name,
one was
but
called
yeah.
Teen Wolf. I think it was a Teenage Wolf. Which what you mean, Michael J. Fox?
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
yes.
that's the one because they had a movie, and then they brought out a new one, Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
In like 2010 or so, or before that.
No, but look at the big one that had the girls them going crazy.
Oh,
Twilight.
Yes.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was huge. Yeah, but that was one of our favorite cartoons though, growing up. Beauty and the Beast.
It says, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit, right? And then I'll just read the next two. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt.
Yep, and that's why you can be a madman, because they do this thing called pivoting. They have different ideas. They have to pivot the idea based upon what's going on within people and the herd. Like you don't hear about Sebit, you don't hear about the variants, you don't hear about the bird thing. All you're hearing, because they had to pivot. They looked at how many people were against it, how many people were for it, and what's going on. And it's not working right now. This is the temperature, so we got to go this way. And that's how this guy works.
Yeah, so we can bring in this madman. So
Right.
whatever goes wrong, people will blame the madman.
Exactly.
People are already hating on him.
Yeah.
So if anything goes wrong, it was that guy.
Exactly. They're clean, so called.
Exactly.
You know.
Goes on to say, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right. So you're going into those leaders, man, and the leaders and the system, that system that rides this beast from Egypt. Hey, that's why I mentioned the thing real quick about the biometrics, because he's back again. The Lord put him back for him to fulfill his role, right, in Egypt, right, as the spearhead system that rides the beast. Going into the next verse, last point on that. It says, in that day shall Egypt be likened unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking, right? Inward agitation, that's how it starts. This is a battle for the mind. And the literal shaking is going to come to that place. You know about that.
And that's what's going to bug him out mentally.
That's right.
The things that shaking is going to be like situations.
They build bunkers, all kinds of stuff they build. I'm talking about the end and branch. But
Yeah,
go ahead, brother.
yeah. The shaking is going to be, all the perplexities.
Yep.
That's what it causes them to bug out because
Just like Egypt.
exactly. Yep.
Right? Shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, right? Yahushua, right? The king of terrors, right? Who meditate terrors.
That's right.
Terrors. Say it right, not terrors. Terrors. Right? Such a point. It says, why, which he shaken over it. So yeah, king of terrors, he's inside the minds of these people, and he uses his voice to bring that. Right? And also his angels, man. So, hey, you people, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep talking. you talking your game, man. But the king of terrors, man, he's the one that's causing you to talk your game, right? And that inward agitation is a beautiful thing for the men of the Lord. It's a blessing for us because he said that he's going to shake his house.
Hey, but that's why the plane crashes are so spiritual, because all those people thought they were just gonna live their life and go about wickedness on the day to day. That's why that plane crash is spiritual, man. They were on that plane, they were proud. Hey, I'm 5 minutes away. Lots of land. Hello?
How do you got service up there so quick?
Oh yeah, you got doctors, you got lawyers, that's some serious people, man.
That's a foreshadowing.
Yeah, a bunch of Luciferians on that fucking plane. Thought they were gonna come down and do some wickedness. Also, I say cut that shit down.
And the precepts?
Let me just bring this up. This is because you brothers are going into people, right? Just stupid people. So this is Wikipedia, useful idiot. It says it says a useful idiot or useful fool is a pejorative description of a person, suggesting that the person thinks they are fighting for a cause without fully comprehending the consequences of their actions.
Like a criminal, right? That's why Esau set up the prison industrial complex. I can't blame Esau for saying, I'm gonna take all these unproductive niggas, make them commit crime, which is gonna pump them through the court system, which is gonna make me money. I get to send my kids to school to be lawyers and judges, and they're gonna make money off of you dumb niggas that think that you're fighting for a block that we own. We're gonna be the fucking owners of the block. When we kick you out of the block and you downgrade the property value, we'll buy the area from you at a freaking low cost, pump up the price, and then put you in the prison system, and the government is gonna have to pay us to house you. Great, man.
And we have companies in there that make money off of that.
Yo.
A lot of those prisons, they'll be making woodwork.
Yeah.
Cabinetry.
They were the ones fighting the fire, the wildfires. You know, like,
I think it's one
Yeah,
of the Mississippi that
they were
license
making
plates.
Victoria's Secret.
Missouri, yes.
Yeah, they were making pennies.
Yeah. The inmates made the license plates.
What's the one in
That workshop in there.
Yeah, hold on, brothers. Hold on. Let the brother finish.
It says, without, so suggesting that the person thinks they are fighting for a cause without fully comprehending the consequences of their actions, and who does not realize they are being manipulated by the cause's leaders or by other political players. The term was often used during the Cold War in the Western Bloc to describe non-communists regarded as susceptible to communist propaganda and psychological manipulation. And it says, Stalin described his converts as useful idiots. It says the useful idiot, the useful idiots have destroyed every nation in which they have seized power and control. It is presently happening at an alarming rate in the U.S. It is difficult to free fools from the change they revere.
That's crazy. That's boastful, man. This devil is saying that knowing his own history. You know, talking about useful idiots basically damage every time they rule. What about your history? You know it. So then you reason in your history. That's why these devils, they have the saying, there's no repentance of sins. Right? And they link it to what's it called? Esau, when he sought no. Right. So in their mind, the way they reason that is that they were given light, the Most High was jealous, so he rejected them. That's how they reason with it. They don't reason that you fucked up and what you did was wrong. That's why the Most High did that. So in their mind, you know, it's like they were set up by Satan to be the next, you know, the next God, so to speak, kind of thing. That's crazy.
Like,
That's powerful.
like they said in the X Magneto's like, let the pawns go first. That's what you do, right? Especially if you know how to play chess. Right? You're going to sacrifice your pawn. You know, protect your area. Oh, I know that. But I'm watching The Wire now. I'm on season 5 again. We've been watching it since 4020.
Yeah, it's a good show, man.
Good show.
Wire that was done in Baltimore.
Yeah. Con.
There's this ladder, there's this like what do you call it, a classification,
Mhm.
right? Where they have an idiot at the bottom, right, which is a self-preservation. And then they have other levels here, the low-grade imbecile, which is simple menial work, a medium imbecile, which is simple manual work, a high-grade imbecile, which is complex manual work, and then a moron, which is work requiring reason and judgment, right? And then when you look at moron, it's from 1910, medical Latin, one of the highest class of feeble-minded persons. Wow.
Hey, it's just like the TV show this brother taught me to watch, showed me to watch, Severance. They're idiots, man. Like, just a bunch, they're downgraded mentally. They're just there in the office, just doing a bunch of dumb shit. You know what I mean? They're rewarded with the stupidest thing. Just, here you go. Like, you know, some dumb shit. Man. You're with the degenerates.
Hey,
That's
what-
how most people are, man.
Yeah. You know what? That's what that movie Tron from back in the day.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
yeah,
that
Tron,
was
Tron,
basically
yeah.
too, because it
Oh,
was people
shit.
being programmed, and then the people that were being sacrificed.
I gotta
That's why
watch
they
it
had the
again.
games.
I don't remember. I gotta watch
Because
it.
they had the games, and then there was certain people who like they didn't want to be sacrificed, and they had the game, and then it was like this terminology they used about something about deletion.
Didn't they make a new one?
Yeah, they're making a new one called Tron, called Ares. They're making a new one, I think, called Tron Ares, which means war.
Con, that's right.
Jared was supposed to be in it. Jared Leto. Yep. Fucking demon.
No, but that's going into what you just read. That's why the scripture says knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our time. And really, those fools that you're talking about in our thing is IUIC because they militarize their movement. Yo, the elites can't wait to use them. It's gonna be so easy to demonize us because you're moving military, like a military. We're not supposed to move that way, man. We're not a military, bro.
Prisoners of war.
We're prisoners of war.
Yeah, commanding General Johanna. And us to have generals either like that. You know?
This is group 4:1. Group 4:1, and it says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth all they that keep it shall come to life, that shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it, and walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated." Right? And Jacob essentially takes on these things, and they don't understand that they have an enemy, and because they don't know their heritage, they don't know essentially how they don't know about their enemies, and they don't know how their enemy fights. So it's essentially they're just taking bullets. They don't know who's attacking them. Essentially, where it's coming from.
Getting hit.
So they're just
getting hit.
Exactly.
Like that, what's that show called? What was it? The Corner? And they started, it was like a scene, and Jake they started shooting at each other, and they didn't even know who shot, and they just started busting shots at
So Jake is.
a wild bull in a net.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, cool. Just like you just read. That's our people. Our people just do things and they don't know what they're doing. That's why we're at the head of every movement. Civil rights, gay, women's lib, feminism. We're always there. Abortion.
God. So with that, we're gonna close up. We're gonna give all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Makabadash.
Give honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops, bearing all who well. Truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to all full elect. 144,000, especially His word and truth and sincerity across all points of the earth. Lord willingness to edify the whole full elect. Above all,
Ramachwala. Shalom to the whole elect.
the elect.